basic services.
Madam Chair, I do not stand here to defend any of the telcos. However, the role in which I sit here to serve the Ghanaian people. Whoever sits as MD of MTN is thinking of his shareholding and his profit margins. And as every private business, not just MTN, Telisa, every private business will look at what they need to do to maximize profit within the legal regime.
But you maximize
For me,
profit,
what
Minister,
I have, and Madam Chair, the point
profit,
I am making is
that commensurate with service.
And that is why you have a regulator. Regulators have a role to protect the customer by taking policy decision. You had a decade where there was poor leadership. Over the decade, the average number of cell sites per year was 223 sites.
Minister,
and I'm saying to you that in this year alone,
and put blame on policy makers or whoever it is. They themselves, as a company, also ought to do. Yes, I'm saying it is neither here nor there, Minister. But all we are asking now is whatever has happened has happened.
Madam Chair, when you ask
moving
the
forward,
question,
Minister, please, moving forward, we want something done. We want some actions taken, and the actions should be taken quicker than what they have told you.
Madam Chair,
Minister, that's all we are saying.
Madam Chair, but you need to listen to me.
Engineering is not
sentiment.
Engineering is not about sentiment. It is about
giving a policy
in business. You look at the monies that are coming to you, and you ought to direct the services, the services that you are also giving. So that's all I'm saying. Minister, this is not monologue, no.
You've made your point. Can you listen to me?
And tired of the poor quality services that we are experiencing. And that's all we are saying, Minister. That is all we are saying. Maybe you think it is sentiment. It is not sentiment. It is the people of Ghana, the people in the Tiwa East who are complaining. We cannot even make calls, and it's serious. So that's all I'm saying, Minister. All I'm saying is that whatever it is that you have put in place, let them expedite action because they are making so much in profits. When you look at their financial statements, you look at the profits coming from the Ghana company alone. It is so much money compared to what is coming from the other countries. And so we expect some level of services that will help all of us. And that is all I'm saying, Minister. Thank you very much.
Now, Chair.
Yes.
The point I'm simply making is that I won't sit here to justify anybody. But private businesses are about making profits. And those profits, they paid to you over 8 years at the Finance Ministry as corporate taxes. Policy decision and policy leadership ought to make sure that we took steps to protect the customer. And I'm saying that we, under this reset agenda and under a responsible government, have done so.
Minister,
no, Honorable, Minister, I'm also a member of Parliament. Don't do this.
Minister,
Please, I am on the floor,
Minister,
Honorable.
I understand.
Let me make my point. No, you won't heckle me. Don't play sentiment.
You, but we beg
Chairman, until and unless policy
and
decision
please,
is making...
Honorable,
you need to rein in the Honorable member. She's being unruly.
No,
you are being unruly, please. This is unbecoming of a member of Parliament. Please,
Minister,
stop doing this.
Listen, you don't have the floor.
No, I have the floor. No,
so
you have asked me a question. I have the floor. You will let me answer the question.
Minister.
No, you will let me answer the question. No, you won't do that, Abina. You won't do that today. Let me finish.
Minister, respectfully.
Let me finish.
This is our committee. No, you don't tell us what you want to do.
But you've not brought me here to talk down on me as well.
Nobody is doing that to you.
I listen to you,
Minister,
go on. You listen to me as well.
Respectfully.
We have asked
can you
them
turn
to
off
roll
your mic?
out. We have asked them.
Respectfully, can you turn off your mic?
The chair gave me the floor, please.
Minister.
Minister. Honorable, don't do this.
This is our committee. Minister, respectfully, I understand.
So if it's your committee, then don't invite us. But if you invite
Minister,
us, you ask us a question.
Minister,
so if you ask us a question, you listen to us as well.
Minister,
it's not a monologue.
Respectfully.
So respectfully, let me land.
We will let you land. Just a minute.
Sites.
Minister, respectfully, we will let you land.
Konedu is a very good friend. Abina is a friend as well. And maybe that's part of the reason why our exchanges are very heated, because we do this in our regular conversations. But my point is very simple. The fact that we're friends does not negate from the fact that the work has to be done. I've sat on this committee for 8 years. I've been someone that has toughly questioned people, and I know that my colleagues are only returning the favor for what I did to MPP ministers, and so, but I'm a tough nut to crack, and so that's why I come prepared. The bottom line is you can ask me any question, but you just need to give me the audience as well to respond, because if I'm responding and you don't allow me to respond, then it becomes a monologue. It's not a conversation, and people need to be able to get appreciation. Kwesi Konedu and Abina are very good friends, very, very good friends. And you saw after the program, the end of the session, the three of us huddling together and laughing. So the next time I come back again, I'll fire them. And I indicated it when, as soon as the chairman said Abina was going to ask the question, I said, why is he pushing me to Abina again? Because, I mean, but I think that Abina and Konedu do their work as members of parliament. They do a very good job of scrutinizing and asking the probing questions. And I also will do my job of also holding my own and stating my position. So no hard feelings, no bad blood. I'm going to join them for lunch.
Now, unsupported claims, 35.8 million. Just for 6,000 police officers. 6,000 police officers. That was the so-called, I don't know whether they call it Africa Games or All Africa Games.
Chairman, is African Games.
It's Africa Games. And they spent 35.8 million 2024 for police officers. And we don't have documentation on it. How? Ministry of Sports. How? And you want to sit here and come and argue? Go to a time. Ministry of Sports. We used to change a minister almost every year. Ministry of Sports. We used to change a minister every year. If we can't understand this duplication, I don't understand why we should change a minister every year. Maybe we need to change everybody in the ministry every year and keep the minister.
The question is, how did you submit what you have raised questions on yourself? That's what they want to know.
Yes, thank you. We got assurance from the police that they will provide the supporting documents.
Internal auditor. Internal auditor.
On the 13th of May 2026, Mr. Abronia was arraigned before Circuit Court 9 here in Accra. He faces 2 counts. First, offensive conduct conducive to breach of the peace under Section 2071 of the Criminal Offences Act 1960. Second, publication of false news under Section 2081 of the same statute. And what is the foundation of these charges? A social media video in which Mr. Abronia criticized a circuit court judge. He questioned that judge's impartiality. He questioned the conduct in the discharge of the public duty as provided for in the judge's judicial function. That is the sum total of his alleged crime. He spoke. He criticized a public officer. By the way, since when did criticizing a judge become a criminal offense in Ghana? Section 2071 requires conduct that is likely to occasion a breach of the peace. Political criticism of a public official, however sharp, does not meet that threshold. It is protected expression under Article 21(1)(a) of the 1992 Constitution. And the false news charge? A man expressing a political opinion about judicial conduct is not publishing false news, not by any honest reading of that provision. This prosecution of Abronia is built on sand, and we, the party, will watch it fall. The bail denial. A judge who forgot his oath. By the way, that was not his first. Let me turn to what happened in that courtroom. It demands its own separate and pointed rebuke. Counsel for Mr. Abronia presented a bail application. He argued on solid grounds. The charges, as we all know, are misdemeanors. The accused, as it was made known to the court, has a fixed place of abode. He is a known public figure with reliable sureties. His health and family responsibilities were played before the court. The prosecution opposed bail on one ground only, that Mr. Abronia, if released, was likely to commit similar offences. I repeat, according to the prosecution, in opposing the bail application, it said that if Mr. Abronye is released, he was likely to commit similar offences. In other words, the state asked the court to imprison a man before any findings of guilt because he might speak again. His offense was speaking. And surprisingly, a court agreed. A citizen was therefore imprisoned, not for what he did, but for what he might say. That is not law. That is censorship from the bench. That reasoning is a constitutional disgrace. It is irreconcilable with Article 14 and 19 of the 1992 Constitution, which guarantee personal liberty and the presumption of innocence. A judge who denies bail because an accused may continue to express political opinions has not administered justice. I say what I'm about to say as a practicing lawyer, as someone who has spent his professional life in courtrooms, who has profound respect for our judiciary and deep admiration for those who carry the weight of dispensing justice. I say this not in anger, but in fidelity to the Constitution I have sworn to uphold, and with all the candor, humility, and respect I can command. When a court denies bail not to serve justice, but to serve silence, it has administered political censorship from the bench, and that, with the greatest respect, is a betrayal of every principle that gives judicial office its authority, its dignity, and its legitimacy. Mr. Abronye posted a critical video about a judge. That is not a national security matter. It never was. This has nothing to do with the criminal justice and everything to do with political intimidation. But there is something even more alarming. I want every Ghanaian to hear this clearly. Even those who hate the guts of Abronye must at least listen to this matter. It has now been 4 days since the court pronounced the remand order. 4 days, as I understand it, on the basis of information available to the party at the time of this statement. Counsel moved up and down the courtroom, the registry, demanding for certified remand order. The court order, as of Friday, has still not been drawn. I therefore simply ask a simple question. On what legal basis did the Ghana Police Service take Abronye into custody and conveyed him to the BNI? On what legal basis did the BNI accept and held him? A remand order is not a verbal instruction. It is a formal judicial instrument. It is a written legal authority upon which the deprivation of a citizen's liberty must rest. Was a Ghanaian citizen delivered into intelligence custody on nothing more than a word of mouth? If so, that detention has no documented lawful foundation whatsoever.
Government is broke, government is broke. The people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, Ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now.
Okay, good morning. Welcome to the show. This is Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. The show is also live on 94.1 FM. My name is Audu Moro. And I say assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Thank you very much for tuning in to perhaps the most talked about show in town, the most thought-provoking and intellectually stimulating platform that you can ever imagine or you can ever experience. And that's why you tune into the show from 7 a.m. to 9:55. And we say thank you very much for staying loyal to the show. I also want to say a big thanks to the Almighty Allah for making it possible for us to return here to join the nation's conversation on the big issues that are making the rounds in our dear country, Ghana. And it's all to God and country. That's why we come here. And also want to say a big thanks to our guests who join us from time to time, from Monday to Friday. Let me go straight ahead and look at the front pages of the papers, as we always do, before we usher in our guest. Daily Graphic this morning is what I will start with. It says, President unveils homegrown healthcare funding. 3 billion cedis unlocked from uncapped NHIS. $1 billion cocoa financing plan to deepen domestic bond market, BOG. MOH set to recruit 6,000 volunteers for free primary health care. The Ghanaian Times. Consumers not getting value for money. NC tells telcos, and I totally agree with that. Governor calls for prudent decisions to sustain a disinflation. Minority leader warns of job losses over 1D, 1F cancellation. Fight against Galamsey, Minerals Commission pilots drone surveillance in Western region. And at 79th World Health Assembly, falling health aid threatens millions. President Bahama cautions world leaders. Daily Guide has MTN Ghana launches 30th anniversary, unveils $1.1 billion network investment, fintech growth. NSA scandal, courts admit Giftiwari ADB bank document. Buffer store case, Hanan wife get 63.5 million cedis bail. Wontumi denies Exim Bank 14 million cedis fraud charges. Poor internet service, Abana St. George clash at PAC. The Insight. Kwachifusu blasts GBA over silence on Apenyo marking attacks on the judges. No foreign military bases on Ghanaian soil. Health Ministry clears 8,000 recruits set to begin health workers mop-up. Reparations for slavery, a legitimate struggle. Chiefs, elders set record straight over Tembibian land. NCA marks World Telecommunications Day and 30 years of regulation with focus on service quality. Sheikh Abdul Malik Maiga leads special prayers for Ghanaian pilgrims preparing for the Hajj 2026. Congressman tells Senate U.S. lost 39 aircraft in Iran war, citing report. And no foreign military bases on Ghanaian soil. It will be interesting to get the thoughts of Kwesi Pratt in this matter, because he's been on this crusade for a very, very long time. And you notice that the Insight has been publishing the documents that Ghana signed with America on setting up of US bases here. And now, finally, the Insight is saying that no foreign military bases on Ghanaian soil. That's a very interesting one. I can't wait to see, to host Mr. Kwesi Pratt Jr. on this matter. The New Republic says the great school feeding robbery, explosive charges reveal 8-year looting network inside NAFCO. How a CEO built a multi-million city criminal empire on the backs of school children. PAC clash exposes telecom policy fault lines. Ghost names trial advances as court admits disputed NSS directive letter. Mahama unlocks 3 billion cedis for health in sovereignty push. I am not bankrupt. Buedu Kobi says God ordered church. There's MPs and Respect government a minefield. That's with the New Republic. And then also Daily Post this morning is reporting a bus ready for 24-hour economy rollout assures government of uninterrupted fuel supply. Deadline to turn Africa's $2 trillion into health deals. Gold Board received second full gold output from Ibrahim Mohammed's Damine gold mine. And as Health Ministry alerts public on outbreak of Ebola virus in some African countries. Economy Times. Now, hands off Goldfields. Veteran journalist slams IEA populism over Takwa lease renewal. And as government looks away from Eurobond markets, prefers to stick with domestic bonds for now. Wage crisis mounts. Only 32% of salaried workers able to save amid structural weakness. That's with the Economy Times for today. Let me look at the daily searchlights. That's Mr. Ken Cranch's daily searchlight, and it says that a former NAFCO boss and wife granted bail. It's also here. Scandalous. Ghana police charge fees for public events. Accra 2023 African Games Chair questions 35.8 million police bail as unjustified. Why is a state-sponsored police institution charging fees for providing security? And there's also Chairman Wuntumi and co-accused still on bail. Northeast region dominates Ghana's poorest district as GSS flags stark regional inequality. There's FUMSA supports 650 female students with a 3-month pad supply. And then the last, but definitely not the least, of the papers that we have today is the New Crusading Guide, which says exposed. Sam George allocates 50 million cedis just to monitor 1 million coders program. And there's a focus ex-headmaster vouches for his integrity, urges MPP unity ahead of 2028. And there's also High Court stops gazetting of Wura Paramount Chief amid chieftaincy disputes. And then Gwewu Chiefs protects Mahama event over false representation of distilled Paramount Chief. And there's major boost for Wuntumi's national chairman bid as Dr. S.K. Nyama takes electoral affairs role. And there's Presec built me, Dr. Ofori Sapong has been talking. Let me now go online and check out what the online portals are also reporting this morning. So I'll start with my Joe Online. It says that Mahama was the biggest obstacle to Ibrahim Ahmed's Damai mine bid. Felix Ofosu-Kwakye. Why no defense minister yet? Felix Ofosu-Kwakye says Mahama sees no urgency. Government seeks to buy 30% of gold for miners to boost reserves, according to the central bank. Now, City Newsroom has Ghana risk outsourcing economic sovereignty under IMF PCI deal, according to ISODEC. There's Ablekuma North ranked best performing district in Ghana's multi-dimensional poverty index. There's loss-making SOEs fueling Ghana's debt bedding, Dr. Richmond Etiahine. Thierry Champong, IMF PCI to strengthen credibility, discipline, and reforms. The U.S. introduces temporary travel restrictions over Ebola outbreak. Again, I know. Ghana Web says the reason opposition requests inside the judge's decision to remand Abronya into BNI custody. And there's Abutrika slams FBI after court granting 30 million cedis bail. There's a Ghanaian lawyer appointed vice president of the London Court of International Arbitration. Congrats to you. Black Stars face tough. AFCON 2027 qualifies after Port 2 placement. That's with Ghana Web. And then yours truly, your favorites, Metro TV online.com, because our favorite Metro TV online.com has a heavy flooding brings traffic to standstill at Brewa. Magdan Group rejects GACL claims over disputed Spintex land. And as Pep Guardiola to leave Manchester City this summer, Enzo Maresca is expected as successor. 20 trophies, 10 years at Man City. What a fantastic spell at the club. Finally, Pep Guardiola takes a bow out of the English Premiership. But I don't know whether he'll be, well, from Man City, it's not from the English Premiership. We don't know that for a fact. He may want to coach another team, even though I doubt. But I think that the Premiership won't be that exciting anymore without Pep Guardiola, because the kind of competition he was giving the other teams, I'm yet to see any coach that can do that. I mean, there was a setting myth. There's something special about Pep Guardiola. Well, sadly, he's leaving Manchester City. I mean, there was a conversation about him heading the board, just like Sir Alex Ferguson did for Manchester United. Of course, if Sir Alex Ferguson himself is not feeling too well, he's been taking ill. I don't know what the situation is with him now. But Pep should not leave Man City totally. You can leave as a manager, but he must have a role to play As for Maresca joining, I'm not surprised because when they left Chelsea, it was highly rumored that he was having conversations with the Man City appointing authorities, and so, well, no wonder we're told that he's the man to take over Manchester City. We can only wish him well and also wish Pep Guardiola well. Ghana drawn in pot 2 ahead of AFCON 2027 qualifiers. There's also Spain's Lamine Yamal to make World Cup opener. There's Gold Board buys 12 kg of gold from the Mine Gold Mines Limited. And there's police rescue 2 children in Kaswa Child Sale Network. All right, so that's it for the newspaper and the online portal review. Please stay with us. My guests are already seated.
Onunchoni ha o dangma chiechele wekun oyanu tumo osole moji ake oba onani ko aya ko baba shoshoeshe. Amen.
The ideal property shouldn't be a daunting task. At MNC Properties, we believe everyone deserves a place to call home. That's why we specialize in providing affordable housing options under our flagship project, Fresh Property Joy, specifically designed for low and medium income earners. Our range of customizable homes includes 2 and 3 bedroom standard and executive options, all meticulously crafted using innovative interlocking brick technology. We understand the importance of simplicity and convenience in the acquisition process. That's why we have designed our procedures to be straightforward and hassle-free, offering flexible payment options tailored to your individual needs. In addition to our affordable homes, we proudly offer litigation-free lands for sale in vibrant and upscale communities that present the perfect opportunity to build your dream home. We are committed to making affordable housing a reality, providing you with the joy of owning a home that meets your budgets and aspirations. Whether you're looking to buy, rent, or invest, we've got you covered. Our service team is ready to assist you on 030-255-1917. MNC Properties.
Mommy, good morning.
Oh, good morning, my son. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, Mom. How about you?
I'm fine.
Joe, I just saw your mom doing her usual morning routine. Like, it was just 2 weeks she underwent a major colon surgery.
Bro, see, my mom is doing perfectly fine, and we're all excited about it. It was minimally invasive surgery, and the recovery has been very fast.
Minimally? Hey! No, wait. What do you mean by that?
So they offered my mom a laparoscopic colon surgery. Laparoscopic colon surgery,
hey,
which we accepted. It turned out it was equally safe with a very fast recovery time, and the cost involved too was very, very reasonable. She was discharged 3 days after the surgery, and you can see her, she's on her feet again.
3 days?
Just 3 days, bro.
Mean Tuber Hospital, first Ghana colorectal center, aimed to serve a peculiar health need.
Hey buddy, it's me Azar.
Yeah, me now they see. Hey, you look fresh. Oh.
Hey, where your label today me. Wait till you see what's inside me.
Azar, freshly made inside and out for greater coverage and colors that last longer and beautify your walls, spaces and places. Azar, no size. Go ahead. Buy now. Azar, #1 from Azar Group since 1921.
Launching. BSc Development Economics at the Ghana Christian University College. Study a job-ready university program, BSc Development Economics at the Ghana Christian University College. Job is ready for graduates who possess degrees and certificates in BSc Development Economics, professional certificate in Theoeconomy, certificate in Theoeconomy with business. Enroll at the Department of Theology and Economics at the Ghana Christian University College, Amrahia, Adenta Dodua Road, Accra. Full bursary is available for BSc Development Economics graduates to study master's program at the State University in South Africa. Enroll now. Take advantage of this opportunity to join elite professionals in economics. Call 0557 351 090 or 0575 633 307 or 030 296 0542. WhatsApp us on 0557 351 090 or you can get in touch online on www.theoeconomy.edu.gh. Powered by the Center for Theology and Economics, CTEC.
Grab your bottle and unleash the taste of Storm Energy Drink. A bold flavor, a big attitude. Feel the vibe, own the moment. It's your time to be different. Storm Energy Drink, make your mark.
Excessive drinking can be detrimental to health. Not recommended for persons under 18 years, lactating mothers, pregnant women, and people sensitive to caffeine. This advert is FDA approved.
Looking for comfort, convenience, and class all in one place? Welcome to Stay Easy Apartments on Conference Center, where modern living meets exceptional service. Whether you're staying for business or leisure, Stay Easy offers you a home away from home. Spacious and well-furnished apartments, pool, gym, and everything you need to relax and feel at ease. Planning a meeting, workshop, or special event? Our event grounds and state-of-the-art conference center is designed to host your events and bring your vision to life. From corporate gatherings to private functions, we provide the perfect space, supported by modern equipment and a professional team ready to assist you. At Stay Easy, your comfort and success are our priority. Book your stay or reserve your space today. Call us at 020-739-1473 or 0244-226367. Stay Easy Apartments and Conference Center. Stay easy with us.
In my line of work, a confident smile is everything. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste keeps me on top of my game and ensures my smile is always radiant and bright.
With the tiring nature of my job, we spend several hours under the scorching sun. To keep our teeth white and our breath fresh all the time, we use none other than Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. You're on a Kessie and in a kit one.
Samayo Kendini, a who be here, Sametra Sapapadia to a mammy manful. Kel Charcoal's natural ingredients, and a bomb is several buying, a man swing, and a sense of Mama Hotter so a will bedroom.
Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Choose Kel Charcoal Toothpaste for anti-cavity, whiter teeth, and fresher breath all day. Available in 80 gram and 150 gram. Grab yours today.
Kel, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Africa, cook Africa, oh. Cook Africa, cook Africa, oh. I am Her Excellency Mrs. Military Mallet, Association of Nigerian Women President in Ghana here. On 23rd of May, I'm inviting all of you Metro TV premises to enjoy Nigerian delicacy. Eba, egusi with sebo, egusi with pounded yam. You can even eat that on that day, egusi with rice, white rice. Come to Metro TV premises. I am inviting all of you. I can't wait to see you. See you there.
The most wanted, most desired, and the most anticipated event is here. Over 20 African embassies, over 20 different African dishes, one host. The whole Africa converging at Metro TV for Cook Africa as part of activities marking the celebration of AU Day. On the theme, Healthy Bite, Brighter Africa, Cooking for Wellness. Come taste best African cuisines on Saturday, 23rd May 2026, 9 a.m. prompt at Metro TV premises, Northridge. This event is a Metro TV initiative supported by Metro Digital, Original TV and Original FM. For sponsorship and partnerships, call 054 028 1537. Cook Africa 2026, Healthy Bite, Brighter Africa, Cooking for Wellness.
You're welcome to Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. This show is live on 94.1 FM. I shouldn't be welcoming you because you're there, the one who just came back. So let me just say, you're watching Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. Let me just say that my guest is here and we're going to kickstart with our conversation today. Today, I have the Honorable Member of Parliament for the Nedogu constituency, Ata Issa. He's here with us. He has a finance and accounting background, and so he speaks with such authority. He knows exactly what he's talking about. And so once we have him here, it would be such a travesty of justice if I don't pick his thoughts on the big announcement that was made by the finance minister and a representative of the IMF, and the fact that Ghana has exited the extended credit facility program under the IMF program, and the steps that the government intends to take to make sure that we do not relapse. You know, Ghana behaves like a drug addict. You know, we are addicted to going begging. So if we have to be stopped from going back to intensive care units, then somebody must shepherd and somebody must monitor what we're doing. And that's what the finance minister and the government is telling us. But we're not too sure how that is going to work. And perhaps now that Isa is here, in fact, none of the papers we have here is reporting it, but we're just thinking that as a finance and an economics person would pick his thoughts on that before we move to the more substantive issues. But I would want us to do this first. Let me introduce Ataisa, and then we'll play a video. Ataisa, good morning. It's good to see you.
Good morning.
I always say assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
And I hope you're doing very well.
Yes, I'm doing well.
How's the family? How's the constituency?
Yeah, everything is fine. Let me greet the good people of Sanargo,
right,
and the rank and file of the NEC,
okay,
and the leadership of Parliament. Everything is fine.
Okay.
We are just gearing towards the Eid that is scheduled for 27th.
Yes,
I
yes,
think that's
yes,
the
yes.
most important
Yes.
thing. And the party is also, you remember the last time I sat here, I said we were also about to roll out the reorganization of the party from the branch.
Okay.
So as we speak currently, nomination forms for various branch positions are available, and the party has gone digital, so people can access it at the comfort of their homes.
Oh, really?
To join the party.
Okay.
And those who have network challenges can also be assisted by the constituency executive committee. So currently, that is what we are doing, whilst also preparing to return to Parliament on Thursday, God willing, to serve Mother Ghana. That's what is going on.
All right, so let's do this. Please, let's watch this video.
announcement marks the definitive end of Ghana's financial bailout relationship with the IMF. The government of Ghana is exceedingly grateful to the people of Ghana for their sacrifices, resilience, and forbearance. The government of Ghana is also exceedingly grateful to our bilateral creditors, the Official Creditors Committee, and our external and domestic investors for their collective sacrifice. Going forward, the government of Ghana announces an engagement with the IMF on Policy Coordination Instrument, PCI. The PCI is a form of technical assistance engagement with the IMF. It is a non-financing instrument designed to help countries implement economic reforms and signal commitment to policies that the financial market will be very comfortable with, and unlock financing from private investors and other development partners. For the avoidance of doubt, the PCI does not provide financial bailout, but it will offer continuous capacity development, confidence boost to the market, and deliver a catalytic effect for fresh financing to Ghana. This non-bailout technical assistance policy coordination instrument will complement government effort to achieve investment grade in the near future. Achieving investment grade is very important and significant to the people of Ghana. It will lower sovereign and private sector borrowing costs and attract long-term institutional investors, increase foreign direct investment, and unlock cheaper financing for critical infrastructure development and private sector growth. Ultimately, this engagement will support government of Ghana's effort to accelerate sustainable development, create jobs, and raise living standards for all Ghanaians. President Mahama and his administration remain fully committed to good governance, prudent economic management, fiscal discipline, and creating an attractive environment for both domestic and international investment. Thank you very much.
All right, so that's the Finance Minister, Keith Lato Forcing, talking to us and announcing to Ghanaians that Ghana finally, we're supposed to have done this for 39 months. We've done it for 36 months. Well, hooray to Ghana. We've done a good job, haven't we? All right, congratulations to all of us. Perhaps it's time for us to pop some champagne. But we have to do this cautiously because we've been here before. We announced, we made a big announcement. We told the whole world that we're out of the IMF, and so we're back, life is back to normal, and then we're back again. So we can't continue to do the same thing, isn't it? And expect different results. We've got to do things differently. Government says it wants to do things differently. And he mentions what it calls a policy coordination instrument. We don't know what is that. What's policy coordination instrument? What is that supposed to do? What is it that PCI can do that we can't do without necessarily doing that with IMF? Why can't we just take those decisions and do them? What do we need a PCI for? So all of those things we'll look at. But Athaisa, before we do this, what's your understanding of what happened between what's the name? Sam George and Abena Oseasare, who was the former Deputy Finance Minister. In fact, it's been captured on the front page of today's what's the name? Today's, I think, is the Daily Guide. I'm trying to understand why that, what was that banter all about? And it's about poor, so the Daily Guide says, poor internet service, Abena Sam George clash at Park. It's been trending the whole of yesterday. So the Daily Guide report says a heated exchange erupted at Parliament's Public Accounts Committee sitting yesterday between the Minister for Communication, Digital Technology and Innovation, Samuel Nate George, and the committee chairperson, Abena Oseasare, over poor telecommunication services in the country. The confrontation occurred during discussions on the quality of services being delivered by mobile network operators. You know what? I have a change of plan. Let's shelve this for now. I want us to do the IMF conversation because I know that. No. Oh, you still want to comment on this?
Yes,
okay.
That's a later on.
So let me do one more paragraph. Paragraph. It says, according to Mr. George, inadequate regulatory decisions over the years allowed telecom companies to prioritize profits at the expense of consumers. Private businesses are about making profits, and those profits they paid to you over 8 years at the Finance Ministry as corporate taxes, he said, while responding to concerns raised by the committee chairperson who previously served as a Minister of State at the Finance Ministry. Policy decision and policy leadership ought to make sure that we take steps to protect the customer. I'm saying that under the research agenda and under responsible government. Bright, can we play that video again? Let me pick Athaisa's thoughts on it. There's some George Abena Oseasare video, if we can you can play, because we played it this morning before I start. Yes, let's do this.
So, with all this that is going on, you ask MTN, the infrastructure that they claim they are building, the monies that they get from users, is it commensurate with the infrastructure that they are building? Absolutely no.
Madam Chair.
Minister, absolutely no.
Madam Chair.
I understand that, but you see, for them to sit and enjoy the increase in users and then wait and wait and wait over a period of time before the minister says, add on this, add on that. All these monies that they were enjoying,
Madam Chair.
couldn't they have on their own increased these user sites that you are talking about? This is not good enough, Minister. We expect something to be done, and we expect it to be done sooner than, they are talking about, because now it is really, really bad.
Madam
In
Chair.
my constituency, Minister, it's like you just cannot make an MTN call.
Madam Chair, we are dealing with a decade of rot and lack of action, and it will not be fixed. Madam Chair, if you will,
no,
it
Minister,
won't be fixed
just listen
in
to me.
6 months. I've
a
heard
decade
you.
of whatever it is, were they not being paid for the increase in users?
They were, but
They
there
were.
was someone who was also being paid to make policy decisions.
They
It's
were.
a policy decision I have taken.
But as a private company on your own,
They are driven
you
by
look
profit.
at the quantum of monies that are coming in, and you don't even think that let me also improve my services to be, so that the users, the huge influx of users that are coming in, can at least enjoy not anything exceptional, but basic services.
Madam Chair, I do not stand here to defend any of the telcos. However, the role in which I sit here to serve the Ghanaian people. Whoever sits as MD of MTN is thinking of his shareholding and his profit margins. And as every private business, not just MTN, Telisa, every private business will look at what they need to do to maximize profit within the legal regime.
But you maximize
For me,
profit,
what I have,
Minister,
and
you
Madam Chair, the
maximize
point
profits.
I am making is
That is
that
commensurate with service.
and that is why you have a regulator. Regulators have a role to protect the customer by taking policy decision. You had a decade where there was poor leadership. Over the decade, the average number of cell sites per year was 223 sites.
Minister,
And I'm saying to you that
will
in
not
this
sit
year
here
alone,
and put blame on
Madam Chair,
policymakers or whoever it is. They themselves, as a company,
cannot
also
absorb-
ought to do. Yes, I'm saying it is neither here nor there, Minister. But all we are asking now is whatever has happened has happened.
Madam Chair, when
But
you ask
moving
the
forward,
question-
Minister, please, moving forward, we want something done. We want some actions taken, and the actions should be taken quicker
Madam
than
Chair,
what they have told you.
Madam Chair,
Minister, that's
no.
all we are saying.
Madam Chair, but you need to
Respectfully.
listen to
No,
me.
I
Engineering
understand
is
what
not
you are saying.
sentiment.
Minister,
Engineering
it
is
is
not
not about
sentiment.
sentiment. It is
I
about
have given a policy
in business. You look
All
at the
right.
monies that are coming to you, and you ought to direct the services. The services that you are also giving. So that's all I'm saying, Minister. This is not monologue. No,
you've made
Ghanaians
your point. Can you listen
are
to
sick
me?
and tired of the poor quality services that we are experiencing, and that's all we are saying, Minister. That is all we are saying. Maybe you think it is sentiment. It is not sentiment. It is the people of Ghana, the people in Etiwa East, who are complaining. We cannot even make calls, and it's serious. So that's all I'm saying, Minister. All I'm saying is that whatever it is that you have put in place, let them expedite action, because they are making so much in profits. When you look at their financial statements, you look at the profits coming from the Ghana company alone. It is so much money compared to what is coming from the other countries. And so we expect some level of services that will help all of us. And that is all I'm saying, Minister. Thank you very much.
Now, Chair.
Yes.
The point I'm simply making is that I won't sit here to justify anybody, but private businesses are about making profits, and those profits they paid to you over 8 years at the Finance Ministry as corporate taxes. Policy decision and policy leadership ought to make sure that we took steps to protect the customer.
And I'm saying that we, under this reset agenda and under a responsible government, have done so.
Minister,
800.
we beg you.
No, Honorable,
Minister,
I'm also a
we
member of
beg
Parliament. Don't do this.
Minister,
You don't
we
have.
beg
You don't.
you.
Please, I am on the floor,
Minister,
Honorable.
I understand.
Let
I'm
me
saying we
make
beg
my
you.
point. No, you
We
won't.
beg
You won't heckle me. Don't
I'm
play
not hecking
sentiment.
you, but we beg
Chairman.
you. Let's go
Until
straight
and
to the
unless
point.
policy
And please,
decision is making,
we are tired of
Honorable,
this
you need to
politics,
rein
politics,
in the
politics.
Honorable member. She's being
Yes.
unruly.
No.
You are being unruly, please. This is
Minister, you don't
unbecoming
have
of a
the
member of
floor.
Parliament. Please, stop
Minister,
doing this.
listen, you don't have the floor.
No,
You
I
are
have
attending
the
upon us.
floor. No,
So
you have asked me a
respectfully.
question. I have the
Minister,
floor. You will let me
Minister,
answer the question.
Minister,
No,
just hold
no,
on.
you will let
This
me
is our
answer the question. No, you won't do that, Abina. You won't do that today. Let me finish.
Minister, respectfully.
Let me
This
finish.
is our committee.
No,
You don't
have
tell
not
us what
brought-
you want to
no,
do.
But you've not brought me here to talk
Minister,
down on me as well.
Nobody is doing that
So
to you.
I listen to you
Minister,
go on. You will
nobody is
listen
doing
to
that
me
to
as
you.
well.
Respectfully.
We have
Respectfully,
asked
can you
them
turn
to
off
roll
your mic?
out. We have
Minister,
asked them.
respectfully, can you turn
The
off your
chair
mic?
gave me the floor, please.
Minister,
Minister, Honorable,
respectfully,
don't do this.
This is our
Don't do
committee. Minister, respectfully, I understand.
So if it's your committee, then don't invite us. But if you invite
Minister,
us and
it
you
is
ask
a
us
law.
a question,
Minister,
so if you ask us a
respectfully.
question, you listen to us as well.
Minister,
it's not a monologue.
Respectfully.
So respectfully, let me land.
We will let you
We
land.
read
Just a
800
minute.
sites.
Minister, respectfully, we will let you land.
Konedu is a very good friend. Abina is a friend as well. And maybe that's part of the reason why our exchanges are very heated, because we do this in our regular conversations. But my point is very simple. The fact that we're friends does not negate from the fact that the work has to be done. I've sat on this committee for 8 years. I've been someone that has toughly questioned people, and I know that my colleagues are only returning the favor for what I did to MPP ministers, and so, but I'm a tough nut to crack, and so that's why I come prepared. The bottom line is you can ask me any question, but you just need to give me the audience as well to respond, because if I'm responding and you don't allow me to respond, then it becomes a monologue. It's not a conversation, and people need to be able to get appreciation. Kwesi Konedu and Abina are very good friends, very, very good friends. And you saw after the program, the end of the session, the three of us huddling together and laughing. So the next time I come back again, I'll fire them. And I indicated it when, as soon as the chairman said Abina was going to ask the question, I said, why is he pushing me to Abina again? Because, I mean, but I think that Abina and Konedu do their work as members of parliament. They do a very good job of scrutinizing and asking the probing questions. And I also will do my job of also holding my own and stating my position. So no hard feelings, no bad blood. I'm going to join them for lunch.
So were you in Parliament when this was happening, or you also watched it on TV?
No, in fact, this is the first full clip I've seen.
You've seen, okay.
I saw snippets of it yesterday.
Yesterday, okay.
You know, this is a Public Accounts Committee
Yes.
here, and I'm not a member of the Public Accounts Committee.
Right.
So what I would say basically is that what we saw is regrettable, because the best way, an effective way of listening is also the ability to give people opportunity to talk. From watching the video that you just played, what I can see is that the chairperson of the committee tried to explain something, which I think is very legitimate. I'm also suffering it in my constituency. Yeah. Very, very legitimate. But the choice of the forum and then the way and manner she asked the question denied the minister the opportunity to respond. So in as much as you are talking for people to listen, you must also have the ability to listen to others, because you are making a passionate appeal to a minister to get something done. Allow the minister to also give you the perspective or what exactly has been done with respect to the concerns that you have raised. So I see it from positive ends that Abina, what she did yesterday was to speak the minds of many Ghanaians who are going through these network issues. But the government has also taken steps, in fact, through even GIFEC, the rural telephony program is across the country. There are many steps the government has taken to address that matter. So I'm thinking that she should have just allowed the flow of the questioning and answer session. Sometimes proceedings of parliament like this can be chaotic and it can get personal and emotional. But like he ended the concluding remarks suggested that after the program, they met and they are even going for lunch together. So I don't think these are the better paths we should learn as citizens. these are bound to happen because this is a human institution and sometimes there can be tensions here and there. But I don't see much partisanship being expressed through what the chairperson did. These are reflection. In fact, the chairperson's anger was directed at the telcos, not the government. So I see her point. She's trying to draw the attention of the telcos that basic service delivery is required of them to the Ghanaian citizen. Because, look, I was also going through the group accounts of MTN, and it's mind-boggling the amount of money that they make from this country. But sometimes you go to some areas, poor services, yet they still patronize their data services.
Right.
So I think that let's dwell more on the substance than the form that it happened. I am also using this medium to call on the Minister of Communication to pursue the concerns that has been raised, because this is a reflection of what many Ghanaians would have wished to raise, but they don't have the platform to do that. So to that end, I think that what happened yesterday is part of parliamentary proceedings. Sometimes, because they are humans, tensions can flare up, and it is how best they resolve the matter moving forward. And I think quickly, immediately after the program, you saw the level of reconciliation, and things have moved forward.
Okay.
So people should, this is not a partisan communication, we should just make sure that the work is done. The PAC is doing their work. We must also recognize that when the chairperson of a committee is speaking, she must be heard in silence.
Right.
And I think that's where the minister might have gotten it wrong. Irrespective of your views, the proceedings and the standing orders of parliament is applicable even at committees hearing.
Right.
You must demonstrate complete understanding of the standing orders. When the chairperson of a committee is speaking, the person must be heard in silence. You may have your disagreements, but also the chairperson should give ample opportunity for people to also make their contribution. So I think both ends, they need to do better next time. That's what I would say.
You know, before, it must have been, I think, before George's appearance, the sports ministry also appeared before the committee, and it has to do with the how do you call it, the All African Games.
Yeah.
Yes, and some expenditure which was incurred and submitted to the finance ministry for the deployment of some, we're told 6,000 police officers during the 2023 African Games without supporting documents. Now, that plus what happened between Sam George and Abnao Siasari then provoked a certain thinking
of a leadership,
of a relook at the modus operandi of PAC. Now, Kweku Azar has a very interesting article. It's a very long one, so I'm not going to bore our viewers with that long article, but there's some portions of it that I'd want to bring to their attention, and then just pick your thoughts on this. You know, there's one thing the two of you share in common. They are both accountants, except that he also has a law background. You don't have that law background, but he talks more law than even accounting. But this one is more to do accounting. He says, "Free thinking packs oversight of AUG's findings," which is the Auditor General's findings. Now, you know, he has formed his own movement called Google, which is good governance. You know, so he says, Google has not fully understood why the Public Accounts Committee, I'm talking Kweku Azar, we call him Kweku Azar. Google has never fully understood why the Public Accounts Committee spends so much of its time summoning one public institution after another to explain findings already contained in the Auditor General's report. Now, the current model often turns PAC hearings into a rolling sequence of institutional interrogations, which is, for instance, why was this receipt missing? Why was this procurement delayed? Why was this amount overspent? Why was this contract so sourced? You know. Now, it says 3, to be sure, these are legitimate questions, but many of them are fundamentally audit-level questions about documentation, reconciliation, controls, compliance, evidentiary support. They are precisely the kinds of issues auditors are professionally trained and institutionally designed to investigate. Now, he says, indeed, the Constitution itself confirms that the AUG's role extends beyond merely documenting irregularities. The power to disallow unlawful expenditure and surcharge responsible persons necessarily requires the AUG department to investigate fact, assess explanations, evaluate evidence, determine responsibility, and reach conclusions about legality and accountability. Fantastic. That's what we've just put it up there. Now, it says the constitutional audit function therefore already contemplate a serious factual and evaluative process, not merely the passive recording of defects in public administration. Now, by the time matters reach PAC, much of that factual and technical work should have already been substantially completed by the AUG. Parliament is not best positioned to function as a giant audit working paper review committee. This does not mean PAC has no role in questioning institutions. It certainly does, but its comparative advantage lies elsewhere. When the same violations recur across ministries, departments, agencies, assemblies, universities, and state-owned enterprises year after year, the real issue is no longer merely individual and institutional failure. It is systemic failure. That distinction matters because Parliament's comparative advantage is not to re-perform audit institutions by institutions. Do you get it? The AUG already performs the audit and constitutionally possesses substantive accountability powers through surcharge and disallowance. PAC's higher constitutional role should therefore be to synthesize accountability, identify structural weaknesses across government, monitor enforcement and compliance, and drive institutional reform. In other words, PAC should move from auditing systems to diagnosing the disease. Take procurement irregularities as an example. Instead of inviting 40 separate institutions to explain essentially the same procurement breaches in separate hearings, PAC could organize a thematic national hearing on procurement failures across government. Now, the AUG could then present aggregated findings showing recurring patterns. Example, sole sourcing without adequate justification, unapproved contract variations, failure to obtain competitive bid, delayed project, etc. The hearing would then focus on larger governance questions. Why do these violations recur across government? Are existing sanctions ineffective? Are accounting officers ever personally disciplined? Are surcharge recommendations being enforced? Is the Public Procurement Authority exercising effective oversight? Do loopholes in the procurement regime encourage abuse? Why do some institutions consistently comply while others rapidly fail? What reforms are necessary to prevent this recurrence? And he gives us a litany of suggestions going forward. And it's quite a bit, so I'm not going to bore you with all of that. But he raises some very, very important issues, doesn't he? And Bright, do we have to take a break so that when he starts flowing, we don't have to interrupt him? Good. So let's take a breather. We have to sell. So let's do this briefly, and then I can get his expert opinion on what Kwekwaza is saying.
Hello, my friends. My name is Kelkit's Toothpaste.
Wow.
I was made to be gentle on your gum, but protected. I will protect your teeth from cavity, make your teeth whiter, stronger, keep your mouth fresh all day. And best of all, I'm strawberry flavored. So put on a smile and try me.
That's amazing.
Just try me. That's my job.
If you say so, jump on my brush. Makes your teeth stronger, chicky whiter, chicky stronger. Yay! You did it!
I'm glad you like your new toothpaste. Don't forget to brush both day and night.
Kelkits, happy smile.
Changing, so should you. If you're dreaming, don't be afraid. And in the valleys, keep your head up high. Dare to dream with Puma drinks. Puma, yeah. Believe it, you can achieve. Puma, oh yeah. Clap your hands for the whole new vibe. Make we set the bliss. Oh yeah, come alive. Let me hear you.
Puma drinks, a whole new vibe. Another quality product from Casa Precon.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Yes, next. Hey, Nadia Benson.
Me didn't tum. Mr. Femi Kalika, just call me cockroach. Now, Mr. Femi once now.
Hey, is that you?
Improve.
Yeah.
Captain was key to double the action. Me did it, Sasso spray. Mr. Femi Sasso quell. Yeah, go to my Sasso.
Come tum preko.
This Easter, Estate Masters Limited is giving you more reasons to celebrate in our extended Easter promo. Secure your dream land at Nest Cottage, Chopoli with a massive 15% discount. Or choose Palm Hills, Gomwa Pamfukurum, also at 15% discount. And for lovers of the coast, Coastal Park, Ningo Prampram awaits you at 10% discount. Plus, enjoy free site visits and free documentation because we make land ownership simple. This Easter, don't just celebrate, invest in your future. Estate Masters Limited, your most preferred estate partner.
Hello everyone, my name is Kauta Rafiq from Morocco Embassy. I am inviting all of the Moroccan community as well as all Africans to celebrate Cook Africa at Metro TV the 23rd of May, 9 a.m. as part of the AU Day celebrations. Morocco will be serving one of its most famous dishes, steamed lamb. Can't wait for you to try it and can't wait to meet all of you.
Right, you're watching Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. I'm still here with Ataisa, who's the MP for the Southern Legal constituency. We're also expecting here shortly the National Youth Organizer of the MPP, Salam Mustafa. He will also be joining the show in a matter of minutes. So once he joins us, we'll introduce him. So Ataisa, I was just reading to you what the Kwekwa's thinking is and his proposals as to what we can do with the PAC beyond just asking about procurement issues and source sourcing and so on.
Yeah. So, in fact, I agree with him to some extent.
Okay.
I remember when the issue of the value for money came, there were concerns that why do we need another office when there is an Auditor General and then there is PPA?
Yes.
And the point I made was that sometimes, for example, Auditor General always come in after the fact.
Right.
So it is difficult for you to do preventive measures unless you do recommendations for the ensuing year audit. So that is not preventive enough, or it's not, you can use it as a correctional measure within the fiscal year. Now, if you look at the mandate of PAC, it's part of the standard orders, standard committees of Parliament. And the reason why it is important, the existence is important, is because Parliament devotes monies for public institutions.
Right.
And all monies disbursed to ministries, departments, and agencies are functions of Parliament.
Right.
We approve and disburse. Now, when those funds are disbursed to public institutions, it is only natural that they have to come and account for the usage of the funds.
Right.
Now, this is where the Public Auditor General comes in. If you look at audit findings, it is intended to find material misstatements, whether the accounts depicts fair values.
Right.
You get the point? It is not incriminative enough. That's number one. Also look at the surcharges regime and even those disallowances. What has been the recovery rate? So most of the time, it is not every institution or every matter that is reported by the Auditor General that Parliament considers.
Right.
Parliament only considers matters that is of public interest, and we do not want a recurrence of something like that. So if you pick an audit document, you look at the materiality. Which of the items feature in, you have your materiality threshold. Let's say 10%, figures that are 10% of the revenue or less. If those things are misstated, that is where you raise a query on it. Then management gives you their representation.
For people who may not be familiar with some of these accounting concepts, when you say misstated, what do you mean?
So misstated means that you are supposed to state a figure.
Okay.
Then you state it differently.
Okay.
So if what we are seeing, for example, you are supposed to state 10 cities and you do it 100 cities. If it is above, let's say 1%, or it depends on the threshold you put of the revenue, it means that it is what? Significant. So the auditor will raise a query on it and then seek management representation. Moro, if you follow PAC very well,
yes,
there are times that the Auditor General gets it wrong.
Right.
So it offers us the opportunity and the platform to what? Reconcile. And that becomes the finality of your audit procedure.
Okay.
In fact, if you look at the Auditor General, their work is not concluded until it is what? Certified and approved by Parliament.
Right.
And when matter is seized with Parliament, it is first referred to a committee.
Right.
And the committee that is seized with the mandate to deal with Auditor General's findings is the Public Accounts Committee. The reason why a minority party is the chairperson is to afford the opportunity of Parliament to hold the government in question accountable. What I see him rather saying, after giving his perspective on it, the suggestions is where I am interested in. Because we keep on talking about weaknesses in our controls year in, year out. I think it is high time PAC look at the systemic issues that he has talked about. And every year since I became publicly aware of audit findings of public corporations and institutions, every year we talk about procurement breaches.
True.
Every year.
Yeah.
We talked about misappropriation of funds.
Yeah.
We talk about projects being implemented without board approvals.
Right.
So when you have situations like this reoccurring, and every year we spend money, taxpayers' money, whole public institutions to come and appear before the committee and then put the reports in our shelves. I think that's where the problem is. And I agree with him to the extent that we have to go beyond the annual ritual. In fact, you remember?
Yes.
When the NDC government came into office, the first thing we did, when the IMF flagged the 67 billion liability that we're supposed to pay,
yes,
we commissioned what? An audit into the matter. And you saw the discoveries that we had.
Okay.
But for that audit, an annual ritual wouldn't have been able to deal with the matter.
Right.
So sometimes that is the weaknesses also of our audit report. It is also true that the figures that they give us are the consolidated figures.
Okay.
Parliament is not seized with audit working papers. For example, if they say they do compensation, 230 million Ghana cedis.
Okay.
Parliament is not seized with the data on payroll.
Okay.
If they are talking about transport expenses, Parliament is not seized with the information on payment vouchers. So we cannot independently verify the totals, but that is what we are mandated to do. That is why the Constitution says that when the audit is completed, it must be submitted to Parliament, and Parliament will interrogate the findings.
Okay.
And then a decision will be made out of that. So to that, and I also agree that Parliament must look at the systemic issues affecting the annual audit that we've been doing.
Yeah.
Issues of procurement. What is the position of Parliament across governments? what is the position of, look, it has to take every government, they come in with their own procurement laws.
Yes.
That should not be the way forward. And let me salute Atuforsen also. This whole idea of commitment authorization, what Dr. Atuforsen has done, if it is continued, there will be a way of aligning national priority projects tied to national budgets, such that institutions and SOEs do not have the opportunity to sit at the offices because they have IGFs or they have annual budget allocation given to them. Then they can do any project that they want. Whether it makes economic sense, it makes environmental sense, it doesn't matter to them because they have money, they think of any project. This commitment authorization does not only seek to approve the funds, it seeks to approve priorities.
Right.
So,
but it has also come as a certain cost.
Yes.
Which is delays. And when you talk to a lot of the appointees, they'll tell you, oh, it's not me, it's commitment authorization. We're waiting for commitment authorization.
It is also not because there is delay.
Okay.
It is the easiest way to pass through the finance, to just put the blame on the finance is the easiest.
Okay.
Because when somebody expects a job to be done, and you refer the matter that it is before the finance minister, I think you'll be free. So it is not, because I know that the maximum days it takes when you request for commitment authorization, that is first of all found in the board approvals of your agency. Or
department.
Your department or your ministry. It is found in the budget for the year.
Okay.
It doesn't go beyond 2 weeks.
Oh, really?
Yes. It doesn't go beyond 2 weeks.
Oh, so typically the ones that delay are the ones that go outside of what has been budgeted.
And I'll give you an example. Agencies at the beginning of the year come with work program.
Okay.
Then during the budget hearing, he normally hears the budget of all MDAs and then consolidate it and come and present. Then it is approved. Then he gives a commitment authorization based on the budget.
Okay.
So at the beginning of the year, let's say we are doing 2027 budget this year, November. You put a figure to a project and there's variations. When you go for commitment authorization, it might delay because you have to justify the variation.
That's true.
And it happens. It happens. And primarily, it is not also the doing of the institution also. Certain unforeseen circumstances can occasion such variation.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And you have to go back there. So when you go back there, it will require it to go through, because it was not captured in the budget that came before the budget presentation. So it means that it has to be revised through the mid-year. Meanwhile, you submitted the revision, let's say, in June. It has to wait till November. If the mid-year is done, he can't do anything about it.
Okay.
You saw a finance minister is away now because of some issues of this nature. So it is a caution. So the current finance minister we have will not compromise on the procedure and law. So that is why some ministers and agencies might say, oh, no commitment authorization. But I know, because the matter was brought before us as a finance committee. We interrogated the matter, and there are evidences that commitment authorization that is budgeted for, if it is an agency that has board approval, does not exceed 2 weeks.
Okay, so the thinking is that before the budget is prepared,
yes,
ministries, agencies, boards, and I'm even told even some of the state-owned organizations are supposed to bring their what you want, what revenue, how much revenue you want to generate, how do you want to spend it.
That's all.
And some of the projects that you intend to embark on, and then the finance minister will capture that into the budget. Now, when the budget has already been read, you cannot come back to the finance minister and tell him that, well, I said I'll build 2 schools, but I want to do 4.
No.
It doesn't work like that.
No, it doesn't work like
that. But if it becomes extremely critical
necessary
for you to do to build the 2 extra schools, you have to go and justify it. But that will take time.
Yeah, it will take time.
Because it's not been captured in the budget, you would have to wait for the how do you call it, the November.
So I'll ask a question. Who gives the finance minister the authority to expend resources of this country?
Right.
It's Parliament. So if the finance minister spends outside the scope of what has been approved, that is illegal.
Oh.
So that is why you must necessarily come through a mid-year budget to tell us that there are changes as a result of the implementation of the budget.
Okay.
So based on that, Parliament should give you certain amount.
That's what you term as variations.
Variations. And so for example, if you look at the previous regime, MDAs had an opportunity to use entirely their IGFs. The accountability towards the IGFs were very minimal.
Okay.
Now, even SOEs is your money, but any project that you are doing must align with the priorities of the government. So it is not your decision to do whichever project you want. And the second advantage is also that IGFs also now requires commitment authorization. And let me give you an example. If you have let's say BOST, government is a non-subvented entity. Government do not give budgetary allocation to them.
So they live on the IGF?
They live on the IGF. So if you don't rein in IGF, then you have thrown in some level of accountability from away. So government will not say transfer the money to chest. Government will allow you to keep the money, but your spending must align with the priorities of the government as a whole. And
it didn't used to be the case?
No. So what used to happen is that the board was the highest decision-making body of the institution. They take their decision. Once it has board approval, we auditors, when we are doing audit, we just look at the authorization metrics. Is the issuing department, is the memo coming from the issuing department? Has it got management consideration? Has it been approved by the board? Is it in line with the budget that we presented for the year? Then it is enough. That's what auditors are interested in. But what we are doing, the extra work we are doing is that it must align with the national picture, what the reset agenda simply means. It must align with the national objectives of the government. So no state institution has the mandate to commit the country, because you are all 100% share owned by the government. Though you are an SOE, but you are 100% owned by the government. So your projects must tally the priorities of the government.
So
that is the good thing about the commitment authorization.
So let me ask you this. I'm not an accountant, neither am I a finance person, so pardon my ignorance about some of this. So I'm just asking you this as a mere mortal or as a layman. Before the finance minister goes ahead to prepare his budget and then subsequently present it to Parliament, all these state institutions, ministries, departments, agencies, universities, blah, 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 you are all supposed to submit your plans for the year, which is the budget, i.e. what you intend to raise or how much money you intend to raise, how you intend to spend it. And if there are debts, how do you manage it?
Yes.
Okay. You send that to the finance minister. Okay, the finance ministry. Now, it is based on that the finance minister would go and present the budget.
Yes.
But I'm sure it is also possible that when you say, oh, this year I want to do 100 houses, the finance minister can say, no, we don't think we can do 100 houses, we'll do 50 houses.
Yes.
Even before they put in the budget.
Yes.
How then do you have a situation where after that budget has been prepared, you know that, let's say, Get Fund, right, and Apology has to say, do, say, 20, schools. Some renovated, some you are building from scratch and so on. How then do you then have to go to the value for money office and then go and say that, okay, now I am here to justify how much I'm spending on these projects? Why would have the value for money office, right?
It's a different conversation, but you go ahead.
Because one would have thought that before the finance minister agrees to input whatever it is you want from the government into the presentation of the budget, the preparation of the budget, he would have agreed with you that, okay, you want to build 10 schools at X amount of money. We're fine with that. So you can deal with that. Why then do you need to come back to the value for money office for some kind of justification as to why, for instance, in putting up the school, this door is 2 cedis. But then value for money says, you sure it's 2 cedis? But we've checked. This door should cost you 1 cedi. Why is that conversation important?
Okay, so let me just tell you why. So you see, if you look at the Auditor General's report for 2024, they identify key weaknesses that can be found in the Public Financial Management Act. One of it was procurement irregularities and overpricing.
Sure.
Now, take a look at this. The Ministry of Finance does not have capacity to do BOQs of projects. And I'm a finance person. When you tell me this building will cost 20 million, I have no way of verifying what you are saying is true or not.
Okay.
So let me now take you through the approval stages of government procurement. Now, boards, normally when the management of a company presents projects and costing to board, the board might not have the capacity to authenticate the figure. We might be interested in just saying the project is nice, let's go ahead and do. Not because we have been advised by experts on cost verifications. That's number one. The public procurement law that we have in this country talks about compliance with existing laws of this country. Compliance. And what are the compliance? If I'm taking something to PPA, and I said I'm building an airport at $50 million, PPA first question would be, was there commitment authorization?
First question.
First question. The second question, PPA, was it captured in your budget? Okay. Is there a board resolution on it? Now, they will look at the method of procurement. If it is sole source, what is the justification? If it is restricted tender, what is the justification? Or you want to do open tender? In all these dimensions, the issues of cost certainty has not arisen.
Oh, okay.
So that is how come a GET Fund 3-unit classroom block can be different from GMPC 3-unit classroom block. It can be different from what the assemblies will build for 3
or even an MTN.
Or an MTN 3-unit classroom. There's no standardization in basic infrastructure. This is the reason why there's a need for a value for money office.
Okay.
So what they are now saying is that every project an SOE is drawing must first be accompanied by a value for money assessment. And let me give you this. Any World Bank or IMF funded project or any bilateral projects we've executed in this country, one of the principal requirements in the memorandum is to present with them value for money assessment on all your projects. So even foreign nationals are much aware that there is a likelihood of overpricing in award of contracts. Because of that, they will say, take it from a reputable institution. Okay. And I can demonstrate to you countries that are practicing similar effort in curbing overpricing and, and abandoned projects. Look.
And the value for money.
I'll come there. So what the value for money seeks to do, like I indicated in the earlier submission, is that every project must have a revenue line. So how come Cocoa Board 2024 budgeted in the board resolution, 483 million Ghana cedis? That is what was approved by the board.
Okay.
Then they ended the year with 4.3 billion Ghana cedis road contracts, above the budget threshold. How did this become possible? So in going for the value for money office, the project must be tied to a revenue. If you do not achieve that revenue, the project does not kickstart, so that there is no need for abandoning projects. You don't start a project when you are not sure of the funding source. The last time I came here with, what's his name, on this big push matter.
Yes.
Oh, he's an aide to Dr. Baumia.
What's this? Is that a Kofi Tonto?
Yes.
Kofi Tonto, yes.
You remember I brought a report from the Auditor General.
Yes.
Who stated that many abandoned projects has happened in this country because of what? No planned budgetary allocation.
Right.
So we commit the country into contracts without knowing the source of funding. The value for money office will ensure that any project you initiate, it must come with a comprehensive program to raise that resources.
Could we have empowered the Public Procurement Authority to do that without necessarily setting up another office?
So let me tell you why it would have been difficult.
Okay.
The PPA already has, as part of its mandate, a provision for value for money.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It already has. Number two, the national presence is key. We are not looking forward to establishing a new office and recruit thousands of people. That's not the objective.
Okay.
So we are just trying to say that even existing structures within offices will be trained to undertake this exercise.
Okay.
Now, the IMF, as part of its policy reforms, mentioned the issue of value for money. And this argument was brought before the IMF and even the minority. The former finance minister is aware of this.
Oh, about merging.
Improvement in PPA
yes.
to deal with similar issues.
Exactly, instead of setting up another office.
The one thing that was completely rejected, and it was agreed as a part of a policy reform, even by the former administration, to establish a value for money office. And the idea was that there is in the PPA law that stipulates the idea of value for money, yet never implemented.
Okay.
So this is a policy reform that is anchored on the successful exit of the IMF program, to be sure that the country can engineer safe accounting of our public resources. And let me finalize on this point.
Okay.
If you look at the commitment authorization regime, now it is not just giving us your expenditure. Your expenditure must be accompanied by your inflow.
Yes.
So the finance minister giving you no objection for your projects is not in itself an end to you executing the project, because it is tied to your inflows happening. So if you tell me you raise 11 billion this year, then you do a project 10 billion. And as of November that year, you've raised only 5 billion. You should not go and commit the country to the 10 billion. You should commit the country to a tune of what you have raised.
Can't I start a project based on expected inflows?
No.
Why can't I?
So it means that even your calculation of your inflows need to be questioned. Such massive variation. If you were expecting 11 billion, you do 9 billion. That's normal.
Yeah.
11 billion, 5 billion.
That's almost 50, less than 50%.
And there's no justifiable reason why it happened. Then we need to look at your expenditure framework again.
Because I know that when contracts are given, there are two types. There's either you are giving mobilization to start, or you start on your own, the government pays you.
So that the commitment authorization also recognizes multi-year infrastructure development.
Okay.
That is not treated within a single year framework. So part is earmarked for this year and another part for next year. So you have to state the payment model. When you are sending for the commitment authorization, after this, I will share with you an SOE that are submitted.
Okay.
So when you list the project like this, you give total amounts. Then you say for 27, what you are expected to spend for that project, 28, 29, up to this. It is all these expenditure projections that will give the finance minister the hope that this project is doable.
Okay.
When we do these things, you see that a lot of money will be saved. It is not to suggest that the previous regimes that we have been using has not delivered value, but we could have done better. And it has been several times. We just spoke about the Auditor General's report.
Yes.
Every time we see the quantum of money that has been lost. Now there's accountability here. If the value for money officer gives a wrong assessment, there are regimes in the law that penalizes that person. And RTI is available now that we can always seek for information that we want. I think this is the way forward for our country.
No, let me say that a very good friend of mine, he was almost like a brother to me, Salam Mustafa is also here. He's the National Youth Organizer of the NPP. He's also joined us, and I don't know he'll be very, very much interested in discussing what accountants and finance people are talking about. He has his own area of expertise, but of course, I also know that he's almost like a jack of all trades. He will have an opinion, well-informed opinion to express on this matter. Don't worry, I was just pulling his legs. Salam, it's good to see you.
Good to see you.
If I don't pull his leg, nobody else will pull his legs. You not go pulling my legs. Good to see you, and Assalamu alaikum, my brother.
Wa alaikum salam.
And I hope you're doing very well.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah. We're just concerned about you know, a banter or a spat that happened between Abuna Osiasari and Sam George in Parliament, and it has to do with the quality of service that MTN has been giving us. Of course, we are all appalled. We think that MTN or the telcos can do much better, but we just thought that the banter we saw at the Public Accounts Committee sitting was something that was not was quite unfortunate, you know, and it got to a point where it almost appeared as though they were disrespecting each other, and we didn't think that it was good enough. And so you notice that after that banter, Sam George had to grant an interview to say, oh no, never mind what you saw happening between us, we're good friends, and so on and so forth, so don't take it to heart. And then of course, at the same sitting, we also saw Kofi Adams and a few other people appear before the same. It has to do with the event that we held, the athletic competition we held. Yes. Last, was it must have been 2023? And some issues that came up. And, you know, that then provoked a certain article which was authored by Kwekwaza, where Kwekwaza was questioning whether we indeed, do we need to bring back heads or officials of some of these agencies and ministries and departments and be asking them the very questions that Auditor General has asked them anyway. You know, how much did you buy this? Why did you buy this? And why did you let this company buy this? Why couldn't you have done open tender? All these things have already been asked by the Auditor General. So why do you come back to PAC to ask the same questions again? And then in his view, PAC must elevate itself to more or less like policy-driven sort of interactions, which is to say that, you know what, over the years, we realized that most of you have struggled with, let's say, or have engaged in, say, procurement breaches and so on and so forth, and that we think that going forward, these are the kinds of things that we think you need to do in order to prevent it from happening, more like a policy conversation rather than asking the very things that the Auditor General has been asking. And of course, Ataisa said he agreed with, Kwekwaza to some extent. Of course, the part which has to do with doing the very things that the Auditor General has done anyway, you know. But then he also explained to us why sometimes the Public Accounts Committee does what it does, you know, because a Public Accounts Committee is a committee of Parliament. It is there, captured in the standing orders, which is that, look, Parliament has given you money to go and spend. Parliament is supposed to ask you to come and show us how you spent the money, because Parliament is acting for and on behalf of all of us, you know. So sometimes they can't help it but to ask the very questions of, even though he agrees that maybe the why must be reduced drastically because the Auditor General has done, then move more into identify why we have such systemic problems and to look at the way forward, so that every year we don't get bogged down by some of these things. So. And that's where we were. Of course, it then dovetailed into some of the reforms that are happening in this government, which of course has been largely informed by the IMF program that we undertook. Of course, you know that we're out of it, as was announced a few days ago, which is the value for money office. And he has explained, you were here when he was explaining the importance of the value and how it is going to operate, and why we cannot add it to the Public Procurement Authority, in his opinion. Otherwise, we won't really see the real, the real essence of it. They have to be an independent office sitting somewhere and doing some of these jobs. So I don't know whether you have I don't know what your opinion is as far as all of this matter. First of all, the Abunasari George matter, and then the whole talk about Auditor General and so on and so forth.
I think, first and foremost, good morning to your very lovely viewers.
Hey, you haven't told me how your campaign is
my campaign is good. Solid, grounded on solid track record.
Okay.
Over the weekend, I completed a training session for 115 TESCON institutions drawn from across the 16 regions, sponsored by Leadership House. I'm most grateful to Leadership House for the sponsorship. And also,
is it an NGO?
Yes,
oh,
yes.
Okay.
It's a non-governmental
NGO
organization who are interested in leadership training.
Okay.
And I partnered with them to provide training for young TESCON executives.
Before you go ahead and talk about today, is it a right-wing, left-wing NGO? Or is
we are right-wing.
So is this NGO also right-wing?
Yes,
okay.
Yes,
I just needed to be sure.
Yes.
Okay.
Pure conservative right-wing thinking.
That's fine.
Training these young people really meant quite a lot to me, because it means that we'll continue to have a pool of young budding talents who will continue to feed the party with quality materials as far as leadership is concerned. I sincerely believe that we must have purposeful leaders driven by conviction and steep in tradition. When we do that, we will reduce a lot of our problems, because when you know the value of what you are doing, you intend to be more committed to it. So the lack of conviction in training leaders is the reason why we have unpatriotic leaders and people who don't feel for the state and are not attached to the very trust, given them. So I think that it was a very impactful program, and I remain very grateful to Leadership House once more, and also to all the participants. I'm very, very grateful. My regional youth organizers, my TESCOM coordinators, their deputies, the TESCOM participants themselves. I believe that all of them have arrived at their destinations safely, and that we will continue to receive such sponsorship from Leadership House to cover the entire 255 institutions that I manage in terms of the NPP's hold of tertiary institutions in the country. So I'm quite excited, and also in terms of my campaign, it is steep on track record. I mean, in terms of organization, I have not done any program that has failed in this party. Not a single one that I have organized that it has failed. So I'm running on solid track.
Is it youth organizer or
organizer? So for national organizer.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I'm moving up. I have passed the 40-year threshold that we have in our constitution.
He's a big man now.
I'm just going a little bit of agree. I also think that we should make way for others to rise.
Yeah.
You cannot always be the one, to take the shine all the time. So I cannot continue to hold the position while others reel under me. There are budding guys, men and women who are craving for space to show what they can do. If I continue to hold, I'm not sure that they'll be able to rise. So I am quite excited that I will be leaving the youth space for the teeming youth of the party to also find space and expression in the political landscape as I also transition into a new role. So we are good to go. Police station elections have been done. We are going into electoral area elections and constituency elections. Then we start full, on the ground campaign, boots on ground, to meet constituency executives, to explain to them what we have done. Because as an incumbent, you like it or not, you'll be under attack. What have you done? So you have to prove your work, and we are ready to do that because the track record is there. If I didn't think that I have done anything meaningful, I don't think I am an honest person. Moro, you know me very well. I won't get up and even worry myself that I want to run for another position. I mean, these are positions that we are not paid for. I mean, you come into it with your own support system to add to the growth of the party. So being it a difficult enterprise, I'm not sure that if there was nothing to add, I would be struggling to still hold on to something. But being, die in the wool party person, I believe that we can contribute meaningfully to the success of the party and bringing it back into power. I have sat at both ends, of winning and losing. In 2016, I was Deputy National Youth Organizer when we won. The praises were off the roof, and I'm National Youth Organizer, we lost. And the opprobrium and, the tongue lashing is also off the roof. Yeah. In between, you accept both and, continue to contribute your quota to the development of the party and Mother Ghana in general.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good luck. Hello.
Thank you. By the grace of God, I'll win. I'm running on solid track record. I know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Yes. Look, I have taught, as National Youth Organizer, I have taught around this country not less than 3 times.
Right.
Very difficult to do, but I've been able to do it. The work is in the regions.
Okay.
Was I in the regions? Yes. Did I provide support for party people? I did. From scholarships to jobs and so on and so forth. What is my legacy leaving the youth wing? One of my biggest legacies is leading a youth wing that has been able to take an orphan seat and, giving it to the party and producing an MP for the party. It's a legacy that I cherish. Okay. My regional youth organizer for Northeast, Alhaji Mohammed Nuruddin, is the MP for Naleru Gambaga. We are very proud of him as a youth wing, extremely proud of him. I'm leaving behind, platforms that would run in the party, I'm sure, for the next years to come. Youth Connect, Campus Invasion, the Zongo Invasion, so many things.
So many things. Okay.
So it's a solid record that we are going to run on.
So we'll take a break. But before we do, your very good friend, Logas.
Yes.
Yes, I know Logas. He says, and let me just read exactly what he sent to me. Yes.
No, by Julius.
I'm not going to paraphrase.
Okay.
It says, please say good.
Finding the ideal property shouldn't be a daunting task. At MNC Properties, we believe everyone deserves a place to call home. That's why we specialize in providing affordable housing options under our flagship project, Fresh Property Joy, specifically designed for low and medium income earners. Our range of customizable homes includes 2 and 3 bedroom standard and executive options, all meticulously crafted using innovative interlocking brick technology. We understand the importance of simplicity and convenience in the acquisition process. That's why we have designed our procedures to be straightforward and hassle-free, offering flexible payment options tailored to your individual needs. In addition to our affordable homes, we proudly offer litigation-free lands for sale in vibrant and upscale communities that present the perfect opportunity to build your dream home. We are committed to making affordable housing a reality, providing you with the joy of owning a home that meets your budgets and aspirations. Whether you're looking to buy, rent, or invest, we've got you covered. Our service team is ready to assist you on 030-255-1917. MNC Properties.
As the days come and go, there's always shit. Let colleagues explore all the planetary bodies. Our mission is in Uranus to treat hemorrhoids, anal fistula, anal fissure, anal incontinence, hydradenitis suppurativa, using laser ligature for pain-free and speedy recovery. On Uranus Street, Accra, is Main Tuber Hospital and Coloproctology Center. Trust Uranus with us and we will delight you. Visit the Main Tuber Hospital today or call us on 0244 581 541.
Wabedum Tamaso. Hey, J. Watch it, na learning. Missy, watch and learn. Makwaya Besisia. A bozig. I can say no ya konati and the more drink woman. Hey, but I didn't mean. Oh, sorry. She knew her old days. Eji, Dabio, baby womb. Ready? Hey, baby womb. Uncle. Ah, Eji. I'll cause some discomfort. Ah.
Uncle.
Sorry, well, Uncle, where would I die? Why your funeral? At to phone for Aerofield Trading. Sorry, it killed them all.
No mum share Nanda Daya was mosquito call is to do a munumu. Na say spray with them musa. Chaisima a dronum and sana ko dynamo.
And Kratoi FDA Ajatum.
Launching. BSc Development Economics at the Ghana Christian University College. Study a job-ready university program, BSc Development Economics at the Ghana Christian University College. Job is ready for graduates who possess degrees and certificates in BSc Development Economics, professional certificate in theoeconomy, certificate in theoeconomy with business. Enroll at the Department of Theology and Economics at the Ghana Christian University College, Amrahia, Adenta Dodua Road, Accra. Full bursary is available for BSc Development Economics graduates to study master's program at a state university in South Africa. Enroll now. Take advantage of this opportunity to join elite professionals in economics. Call 0557 351 090 or 0575 633 307 or 030 296 0542. WhatsApp us on 0557 351 090 or you can get in touch online on www.theoeconomy.edu.gh. Powered by the Center for Theology and Economics, CTEC.
Hello, my name is Christelle Diane. I'm a Cameroonian living in Ghana. So I invite all Cameroonians living in Ghana and all Africans to come to Cook Africa on the 23rd May at 9 a.m. prompt at Metro TV. There we will present our delicious food, which is ndolé and plantain or bobolo. Donc j'invite tous les Camerounais basés ici au Ghana et tous les Africains de venir à Cook Africa le 23 mai à 9h plus précise pour déguster à nos plats, nos délicieux plats venant du Cameroun.
Sorry about that. We had to take an impromptu break. We had a little technical hitch, but it's been sorted. I believe that we're fine now. So let me go back to the DVLA boss's message. He sent me a message to be read to you. So Logan says, she said, Mo, please, good morning to your panelist. He said, do you remember my experience with Abnose? Do you remember that battle I had with Abnose as a report? Yes,
at PAC.
Yeah. I don't know if we still have the video. Then he says, please tell Salam. He has not given us his head, something. I don't know what that means. I'm sure everyone knows. Okay.
I know what he means.
What he means.
In fact, even yesterday, he wrote it on my wall. What is his interest with my head?
He's still waiting.
What if leave my head for me in peace.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I remember. I remember.
You know, you know.
Yes.
Hey. Malamisa.
My constituency is not very far from your constituency, so when they want to do a VC, we are not permitted to be part of it.
That's why I don't want to see what exactly it is.
You want to keep it secret.
Yes.
Anyway, so the substantive issue,
yes,
and matters arising.
Yes, you asked a question. I think the video is trending.
Yeah.
It's been a trending video. I think number one on Ghana Trends. I also saw it yesterday. And I thought that it was a bit, uneasy to watch. I mean, listening to the minister use the word unruly on a colleague member, I thought was a bit unfair, regardless of the relationship between them. Yes, and even if the co-chair were to interrupt and heckle, I thought that the word unruly was not the best word to use on a colleague. And I think that some judge should do better with such posturing and such diction. It doesn't augur well for such important occasion, discussion to deal with finances of the state. Be it as it may, discussions of financial propriety, audit, public accounts, and so on and so forth. I was listening to my brother, Honorable Ataisa, and I was waiting to hear justification for the value for money office. And unfortunately, he ran in circles and didn't land on the killer point that this is indeed the reason why we need the establishment of the office. And I found it quite unfortunate. It's going to be another moribund establishment, which is coming to add to our bureaucracy and make things a bit more difficult, because you rightly mentioned the PPA was established for a reason. And value for money, obviously, was one of the reasons why we set up the Public Procurement Authority. It's not just to come and, tell us that you want to procure. No. Why are you procuring, and at what value? So inherent in the work of Public Procurement Authority is value for money. I think it is a central theme around it. And so I find it a bit, worrisome that the government doesn't think that if PPA is not doing this work, they should get it on its feet working. Rather, they want to set up a new office that creates more or less a duplicitous situation or compete with PPA on the same platform. I think it's wrong, in all honesty. And if we are serious about proper propriety in our financial management, we will be looking at rather reducing bureaucracy and bottlenecks so that people don't take advantage of it. Otherwise, by the time you see Umaru, people will run to the value for money office and go and see people behind the scenes and get things passed. And the purpose of reforms to deal with corruption would get lost. So this unnecessary bureaucracy that we want to introduce, I think, is neither here nor there. But I am thinking, and like Kwekwaza wrote, the PAC calling people to come and answer essentially the same questions that the Auditor General has asked and responses given. I think that Parliament must ensure through the PAC that rather they hold the neck of the Auditor General because it has the power to say charge.
Right.
And all that. The Auditor General should be telling us how much money it has been able to retrieve. And not just come and throw a report on the table and walk away. We have set up the Auditor General's department for a reason. And if the reason is not being achieved, it is not a bureaucracy that will achieve it. It's to ensure that the mandate is being executed. So for me, I think that the committee should be dealing, maybe they should be hauling Auditor General to sit before them and answer questions as to, okay, when you pick maybe, a particular matter, why haven't you been able to, retrieve these charges? This particular matter, what have you done to resolve it? PPA, the Auditor General should be giving answers to Parliament as to their mandate, and also as to how the public finances are being audited.
Okay.
Then Parliament that approves spending for the state becomes aware of how the taxpayers' money are being managed in the country.
Right.
I think that it will help much more than these repetitous, cycle that we subject ourselves to every now and then.
Yeah.
Every year, we are doing these things, and it's becoming counterproductive. Okay. But when my brother was speaking, he said one or two things that I quickly want to, I think some of the things he said were not accurate. Okay. First and foremost, he tried to create the impression that the Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo government, the previous government, had no accountability mechanisms for SOEs. And it is them who have come and through the authorization mechanism are getting things done right.
Commitment authorization.
Yes, also. But we all know that that cannot be wholly true.
But that's not what I said.
I just paraphrased, but in essence, that was the impression that you were creating.
Okay.
If I am wrong, Moro, you are here.
No.
We listen.
So should I repeat what I said?
To get
yes.
But you can.
For clarity's sake.
What I just said was that the commitment controls that is happening now at SOEs, capping their IGFs by the Ministry of Finance for projects that align with the national objectives were not done in the past. That's exactly what. So they had flexibility there.
And then he cites the Cocoa Bot story.
Okay,
so let me hear you then.
I will have difficulty with that position. SOEs have governance structure.
Yeah.
Yes.
And under the NPP, we had SIGA that also, served as, a control mechanism to the SOEs.
No.
So I'm coming.
SIGA does corporate governance.
I'm coming.
That's their law.
But of course, the governance is part of accountability.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yes.
That's fine.
Unless you want to confuse the two.
That's fine.
So, control mechanisms were inherent in the administration.
No.
You understand? SOEs and even their boards cannot, for instance, a CEO cannot sit sole moto and sign a contract above a certain threshold. You must come to your board, right? And board to PPA. So if you tell me that there's no control mechanism, I'll have a difficulty in believing that. So if you have a different approach in how your governance style is working, I'm not sure that it negates how things were done. That didn't give any problems to how the SOEs were.
I guess, Salam. In order not for us to litigate this matter and to drag it, because we have an IMF conversation to have. But the understanding I got from what he's saying is that yes, he admits that all these institutions have a governance structure. The agencies, state-owned enterprises, they all have a governance. It's true, you're absolutely right. They have a board. But the decisions of the board must align to a national priority.
Of course.
So that's where he comes from. That sometimes some of the things that the board have approved does not align with the priorities of the central government. So because we're a board, we can decide that as far as we're concerned, if you justify why you should, say, build 100 school buildings. But the question is, at the time, the NPP government, was that really their priority? Did you get it? So the alignment between...
are not, elements without control. They also serve under ministers who have policy direction to these SOEs. I know that SOEs also report to the minister. So SOEs cannot just get up and begin to do things they like without recourse to the central authority. Otherwise, what is the purpose of the minister?
Right.
The sector minister. The sector minister must control whatever the SOEs are doing, which is in conformity with aspirations of the government.
But he also told you that in fact, it is true. But you also have situations where, for instance, contracts have been entered into, commitments have been made that I want you to do something for me, say you do it.
I will not behave like an ostrich to say that processes are not subject to abuse.
Well,
I will not behave like an ostrich and say that.
Exactly the point. That's the point he's trying to make.
People, human beings that we are,
yes,
people will not abuse
yes.
the system. There will always be.
Yes.
But one or two situations does not in any way negate the entire, thing.
So your point is there were some controls, but it can always be better.
They can always
so his
be
point
better.
is there were some controls even during
to want to portray
as if there were no controls at all.
Yes.
Okay. That's why he has a problem. He says his understanding, not what you said, his understanding.
When you repeated what you said,
yes.
it's still the same impression.
There were no controls at all.
That
so it's like until the NDC there was no control at all.
No control,
and that's where you have a problem. So he says it's fine if you criticize that the controls were not enough.
Yes,
but to say it was not there at all until the NDC came, that's his problem.
His impression.
Yes, that's his impression, his understanding, yes. So I guess that we should move on.
But senior, let me just correct this.
Okay.
SIGA does not decide or regulate boards with regards to how finances are done.
That's true.
SIGA is on corporate governance.
That's true.
So it is not a measure. It is not a corporate governance. It's not a procurement measure that will deal. I'm coming.
Absolutely.
I'm coming. Please. Number two. Sector ministers, they give policy directions. Not all projects designed by the agencies have the tacit approval of the sector ministers.
But I said
no. Wait.
No,
so you said the CEOs have reporting lines. Yes, they have reporting lines. Yes. But I'm saying that the decisions of boards to enter projects need not necessarily be approved by the sector minister. The highest decision-making body of any SOE is the board.
Is the board? Yes.
So. In fact, it will be for good corporate governance that you extend the courtesies to sector ministers for policy direction, not on
the policy direction regulates the work.
No,
of the
not the day-to-day work of the SOE.
Of course.
So, Moro, let me give you an example. Let me give you an example. Do you know, even at the MPP, and now, it had to take governments, first of all, to regulate foreign travels of SOE. Do you know that?
Right.
But that didn't start with your government.
I said even after. Yes. You are not listening to us. I'm saying that even
he wants to make sure you don't take the credit.
No. Me, I don't do my argument like that. Moro, I'm saying that because of rampant increase in public expenditure on foreign travels, it took the government, the central government, through the chief of staff at the MPP and even now, to issue that directive to SOEs. So it tells you that there are expenditures that can happen without the tacit approval of the central government.
Right.
That is the level of the small discretionary power that exists is what the commitment control comes to curb.
Okay.
But you
now the second thing is that
I'm coming. That's the point. You also know that as a finance person, every year, every SOE has a budget.
And that's exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying that you get me.
So
take your time. My point is that the budgeting. I've given you instances where a board gives budget, then the company at the end spends beyond the budget. This is captured even in the 2024 auditor report of Cocoa Board. And it was,
you want to make that a thing of the past.
Yes, and we are saying that anything you want to spend must be borne out of the budget.
Yes.
And that's why when you need to do variations in your program outlook, you must go back and seek for variations and approval.
Yes.
Now let me read. I stated exactly what I meant when I said the IMF and the Ministry of Finance have issues and why they included this VF. Look at what they said. According to the IMF and the Ministry of Finance joint statement, proposed office will independently assess major government contracts and projects before approval, monitors implementation, and evaluate whether the project achieved their intended purpose. So it has during the project and then after.
Right.
So let me give you an example. The board can approve for the initiation of a project. The PPA approving the project to start, there's no mechanism in the PPA law that mandates them for monitoring to ensure that that project really delivers that value.
Okay.
So that's why you see that some get fund projects are more than 20 years abandoned. Who takes, in fact, even recently, we had issues on national inventory of our infrastructure. We don't have it.
Okay.
All this is because we've allowed SOEs and agencies to do projects as and when they please. And it's scattered across the country. There's no coordination. So the idea behind these controls is to ensure that we timelessly monitor projects progress.
Okay.
So that nobody takes any city that will not deliver value to our people.
All
That's
right.
the objective of the
So,
program.
Mustafa, don't get it twisted. He's not saying nothing happened under the MPP. All he's saying is that they have improved things. They've tightened things a bit more. That's all. It is not to say nothing happened. So otherwise we'll drag this and then we can't have a next conversation.
They are just starting it.
Okay. You want to see whether it can be sustained?
They are just starting it.
All right.
Don't you know, up your hopes yet under this government.
All right.
So
he says prove to him that you can sustain it.
And this is a government that has mastered trickery and have weaponized it as well.
No problem.
So let us see delivery. Look, I'm not a prophet of doom.
Okay.
But this thing that the finance minister must give authorization.
Yes.
We're all seeing the fallouts that some sector ministers are now blaming the finance minister that, look, you are stifling us of resources, of funds. You are not releasing our, allocations to us. And it's because you have presidential ambition and that you want to cripple others who also...
Who has said that?
It's discussion.
These are it's too early to be doing this type of politics.
No, but it's coming from you people, your own fault. It's coming from your own fault. No, I am not being politics. But you have heard. But you have heard that the finance
there's some public discussion. Whether it's true or not is another matter.
The point is that let's be careful that we don't create a monster in value for money office that will turn and become a vehicle of corruption because people have to go and bribe officers there to get their things passed.
No.
But you know that, you know that before any contract, is done, there's value for money, attached to it.
No, that is not the case. No, but see that you've worked did you serve in any in your government?
I was a presidential staffer.
No, presidential, you don't have budget to approve anything. I'm saying that if you have worked in an SOE, right now I serve on the board, and I can tell you,
you don't go and submit.
No, he wants to know whether the projects come with value for money analysis.
No.
Okay.
In fact, this cannot be correct.
Look,
there must be justification.
No, justification is different from value for money. No, then you see.
If you are telling me.
No.
But you agree the two are not the same.
They are not the same.
Somewhat not.
Yes.
Justification for the project is different from the value for money.
Exactly.
Contracts I have seen.
Yes.
I have worked around.
Yes.
There's usually reports on value for money.
No, so that's what I'm saying that there is
so
no.
You tell me that there is no. I have a problem with that.
We are speaking across purposes. The truth is that there is no mandatory requirement that projects comes with a value for money report. Justification of a project, value for money has key principles: efficiency, economy, and then what?
Of course, this is we understand.
No, and they are recognized consultancy firms and institutions that conduct value for money.
Yes.
So I'm saying that it is not all government projects that require you to have value for money. But this law now, when implemented, will insist that all projects that government wants
you get a difference
must come with a value for money.
So you get a difference.
And justification, people can come to board and justify.
No, that's a difference. You don't even need to explain.
So
that's a difference.
Don't confuse them.
There's a difference. There's a difference. I want to put up a school here because the children in my area have to cross river A, B before, so I need a school here. But that's justification. But then the value for money will tell you whether...
For people who are riding on trickery, let's wait and see how this white elephant is going to unravel.
So let's make progress. Let's make progress. Because we honestly have just 25 minutes to discuss IMF. That's how tight the
will you see the time to
you? I was in here early. I was taking my time to prepare before
we look at IMF, the most wanted and the most desired and the most anticipated event is here with us. Now, over 20 African embassies, 20 different African dishes, and then there's one host, and that's Metro TV. Now, the whole Africa is converging on at Metro TV for Cook Africa as part of activities marking the celebration of AU Day on the theme, Healthy Bites, Brighter Africa, Cooking for Wellness. Come taste best African cuisines on Saturday, 23rd May 2026, 9 a.m. prompt at Metro TV premises, Northridge. The event is a Metro TV initiative and is supported by Metro Digital, Original TV and Original FM. For sponsorship and partnership, call 054 028 1537. So 054 028 1537. Cook Africa 2026, Healthy Bites, Brighter Africa, Cooking for Wellness. And then let me do this quickly before I bring in my guest. Now, discover MNC Group Global. They are number one partner in minerals and food commodities trading, real estate development, general logistics, procurement, management consultants, investment advisory, import and export. They have headquarters in East Legon, Accra, Ghana. They also have offices in Dubai, Hong Kong, Guangzhou in China. And then also they have one in Johannesburg in South Africa, Virginia, USA, Arizona in Italy, and Hanover in Germany. We connect markets that drive business growth with tailor-made solutions to meet your needs. Trust us to maximize your value in every deal. Reach us on MNC Group at mncgroupgh.com or call us on 0302 998 246 or 0265505337 or 056 103 225. MNC Group, totally right. So, Ataisa, Ghana is out of the IMF program. Now, it's called the ECS Supported Economic Program. We're out of it. But we've also heard the finance minister in that presser announced something he calls the policy code, yes, the PCI. In fact, it used to be called the PS, the Policy Support Instrument. And people are wondering what it is. And I've asked whether indeed we really need this. Because if we've been able to do this IMF on our own, why if we've been able to run this program on our own, of course with the support of the IMF, why do we need IMF to be with us to be able to do this PS? So people have called it policy policing, you know, yes. So we're transitioning from ECF to PCI. But the MPP has their take on this matter. Let me just read a paragraph or two and then you can tell me.
They've spoken on it
Yes.
already.
They've issued a statement actually. They issued it on Saturday. It's been captured in today's daily graphic.
All right.
Now, Samododu says the opposition New Patriotic Party has welcomed the stabilization gains acknowledged by the International Monetary Fund and the Ghana's Extended Credit Facility IMF program, but rejects what it describes as the government's political packaging of the fund's latest assessment. In a statement issued last Saturday, May 16, 2026, the MPP said the IMF decision to place Ghana under 36-month policy coordination instrument PCI showed that the country still required structured policy monitoring to sustain the gains achieved under the program. The government must be honest about the country's economic status. The MPP said the IMF's sixth and final review vindicated a program designed and negotiated by the previous MP administration in 2023 and commended Ghanaians for the sacrifices made during the implementation period. It said measures such as the domestic debt exchange program and the external debt restructuring had reduced Ghana's debt burden from 72% of GDP in December 2023 to 45.3% at the end of 2025. And it says credit goes to every Ghanaian who carries that adjustment on their shoulders. The party also disputed the government's claims that the IMF program derailed at the end of 2024. According to the MPP, IMF documents did not describe Ghana's program as derailed and pointed instead to improved external reserves and stronger than expected GDP growth. And they also say that the party contrasted the current program with the 2015 ECF arrangement under the previous NDC administration, which it said had gone off track and required formal extension and rephase. But they have concerns over fiscal risk. The MPP further argued that the PCI should not be interpreted as a certificate of investment-grade economic health. It's an instrument for ensuring institutional discipline that the country is not yet judged able to sustain unaided. The party said the IMF had identified continuing risk, including liabilities in state-owned enterprises such as ECG and so on and so forth. And it goes on and talks about living conditions.
Who is this?
The party issued a statement. I'm not sure. Maybe Salam will tell us. Yes, it was a party statement. So it says in a statement issued on Saturday. So it's a statement. I don't know who actually signed it.
Okay. No
so here we go. Right. So help us understand what does it mean to be out of this program.
You say it's left with 20 minutes, right?
Yes, we just have 20.
So I'll do 10 and you do 10.
Yes, it's just 20 minutes, yes.
All right. So first of all, let me take this opportunity to invite viewers to follow me through this whole journey.
Okay.
This is a remarkable achievement, let me say, and some credit need to be given to the SY administration for for the reforms that they started. But much of the blame should also be placed on their doorstep. This 18th IMF program is the most expensive IMF program ever entered in Ghana. The most expensive. In 2019, the Ministry of Finance raised fiscal risk factors that threatens the stability of our country. And one of their principal reasons, under Ken Oforiatta, was the debt trajectory. We're already doing debt to GDP of almost 70%.
Yeah.
Then there was an issue. In 2019, there were already depreciation happening. Then the ISA and many other stakeholders called for what? An extension of the IMF program that we had just exited. You saw the way we celebrated the exit of the 2019 IMF program. Then we were told that the country was healthy. In their own budget, they reported that there were fiscal risk factors and they mentioned the debt and the exchange rate instability. In 2020, when COVID struck, we were very clear as a minority party then that every country have been hit. As we speak currently, Iran-US war is happening. The degree of pressure on countries depends on their macroeconomic fundamentals. So we said Ghana was not an island and then it should not behave differently from the rest of the world. We have our peers with the same economic structure that we can always do the comparative analysis. They told us that the solution was e-levy. They did town hall meetings towards the implementation of the e-levy. They implemented it, and we indicated them that e-levy, the money is a float, it's not stock. Because the same money can be on four of us, our phone, transferring among each other. It is not new money. It's the wrong thinking. Whoever brought that idea didn't think well. They said, no, that was a panacea. They led us into this difficult decision.
So it's all part of the PCI?
I'm coming up. If you don't understand the background, you won't appreciate why we are on this program. Never again. I'm trying to draw your attention that there should have been a similar arrangement from 2019 that gives you policy credibility. But you told no. For political expediency, we have exited. Did a Kenke party and led us to this most expensive IMF program.
2019, there was no election in this country. So
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We are looking at what Ghanaians have to pay for this program. Through the Dachi bond and the locally issued bonds that Minister of Finance did, Ghanaians lost close to 84 billion Ghana cedis in principal and interest. This is the cost to people. So we cannot just forget about it and move on. That's why you said that, should it be the last? IMF, Ghana is a member of the IMF. So it is not a problem approaching the IMF. But you must approach the IMF when you have the bargaining strength. That is the time you need to approach them, not when you are on your knees. Do you think if we had approached IMF in 2019 or 2020, these circumstances would have been there? So that is where I'm coming from. The time we went to IMF was the time that we were at our lowest peak. Depreciation, over 40%, inflation, 51%, exchange rate, unstable, foreign reserve falling. We were knocked out of the international capital market. In fact, our economy was described as junk.
So exogenous factors.
And I'm saying that which other country in West Africa, which other country in West Africa was described junk?
But other West African countries also ran to the IMF.
So I'm getting there. I'll do the comparative analysis. I have 10 minutes, don't worry. So tomorrow, we told them, and they said no, they will do it. At that time, when we were described junk, we needed an emergency funding, not a policy credibility. That is the reason why they did the most painful haircut ever witnessed in this country. Because our debt to GDP ratio, for the first time, when you take the GDP basket of Ghana, not all the money belongs to us. because there are expatriates working in Ghana and they are earning money. But if you have added everybody's resources, we exceeded it by 4%. Our debt to GDP ratio approached 104%. Highly unsustainable, an emerging market economy. That is why the medicine was painful for our sick nation. And that's why people were giving haircuts. Now today, they will even say that, oh, but for their domestic debt, you took it painfully, not because you wanted it. We are doing PCI, but we are not taking principal and interest of people. So my point is that the exit of this program demonstrated few things, and it was summarized by the IMF. They said it restored policy credibility. Now, the same rating agencies that describe the MPP regime as junk today are describing Ghana as what? A stable macroeconomic country. The same rating agencies. In fact, because of their junk description, Kenneth Furata even said that we should create our own rating agencies. Today, the same group, we don't even know Fitch, S&P and Moody's. In fact, JP Morgan has described Ghana as the best destination for trade and businesses in Africa. EU ambassador to Ghana described Ghana as the best destination for the next generation. These are the recommendations and applause from people, not the MPP. Your legacy is just yesterday, and we are still aware of that legacy. Stabilized macroeconomics, and they say we don't eat economics. Fiscal discipline, they say we are not spending. But look at the productive spending. Upon all the spending the MPP did, inflation was still around 23.8%. CD depreciated by 19%. Unemployment was at 14.7%. Debt was about 726 billion Ghana cedis. Upon all those things they said they spent on, we still had these difficulties. In fact, the IMF described, and I'm surprised the person said, the IMF in their fourth review, October 2024, said the policy slippages deviated significantly. The quarterly adjustment program, instead of the 24% annually, they did only 3% because of election. Recruitment, they did a lot of recruitment just because of the election when they were advised against increasing compensation. These are the difficulties that we have to endure. And I will just refer you back to currently our external reserves are good. The stability of exchange, people who don't understand. Imagine fuel. If you look at the determinants of fuel, we have the FOB price of the world market price, then we know our taxes and our margins. Imagine the FOB price in the international market, it has increased to about 100 and something. Imagine the city was at 16 Ghana cedis, what would have been the cost of fuel? Now, yes, a PCI is my interest here. Anybody following me can just type the IMF and add PCI, and then walk through this in 2 minutes, so that propagandists will understand that a PCI is not an emergency response. This is what the IMF had to say about a PCI. First of all, it's a non-financing arrangement. Ghana is not expected to borrow. You committed this country to $3 billion to be paid in 10 years with interest. This arrangement, Ghana is not going to borrow. That's number one. Now, if you sign onto a PCI, there are only signals that it shows. It signals growth. Only stable economies sign onto a PCI. If your economy is weakening with imbalances and pressures, you will rather require an ECA facility. So I will demonstrate to you that countries that are on PCI are countries with stable macroeconomic environments.
This one we know.
So it's basically a requirement.
So we entered into a program that has occasioned stability. The last government went into this program, took the hard bullets for it with electoral consequences. That you have come and you are benefiting the soft side of it. Okay. Then you turn around and say that, no, we should clap hands for you.
Okay, it's okay. You'll be fine. Wait.
Okay, you finish.
They said they took the bullets. what they always forget is who shot the gun. You took the bullets, but who shot the gun in the first place?
We are the government.
Please,
that
I'm
went
saying
through
that
the most difficult.
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You can't be digging grave and you want to come out.
Right?
My point is that
the
you
NDC government in 2015, when you went into the IMF program, you didn't even have exogenous factors to deal with.
Will you spend me 30 minutes to
internal inability to manage the economy?
And
that led us to IMF.
Salam, regardless of the reasons, he's saying that it happened and now you're telling me. That's all.
I'm telling you
that's for the reasons.
That the growth, the stability.
I get all of that.
No, don't get before they came into office.
I get
inflation.
No, wait. I'll pardon you for one. We had begun to see some improvements even before the NDC. That which is true.
Yes. Look.
Yeah, but he's asking you a question, which
inflation
is that
fell from 54%
now who caused
to 24.
You know.
But he must also be frank and sincere in explaining the matter. You see, you cannot. You're doing politics.
No, I'm not doing politics. No, I'm not doing politics. See, but this is my senior brother. Let me just do this quickly. No, please. External pressures are not necessarily war.
Yes.
But that is the mistake you guys always do. They think shocks in commodity prices are not external factors. I will pardon you.
No,
but no, in modeling, no, wait.
Had shocks.
So don't say that we didn't have external pressures. Currently, the war that you are talking about is still going on. That war is still here. In fact, there is even a better war now, a more difficult war.
No. This one, oil is still roaming around 120.
That's not the point. That's not the point.
You know what? Let's move on. This debate we've had it time and again for years. So let's move on. Yes.
So I'm saying that the PCI signals economic growth.
Okay.
So this is what the IMF said. Moving from an ECF to a PCI means Ghana is no longer seeking emergency rescue financing.
Okay.
Instead, Ghana is saying we can finance ourselves, but we will still need IMF policy credibility and technical engagement. This is not a compulsion. This is not a restriction. For example, we have negotiated through the debt exchange program with creditors. They need that guarantee and certainty that their monies will be paid.
Yeah.
A lot of those monies will mature in 2028. There should be that certainty. What's the guarantee based on previous records? This is our 18th time. What's the guarantee that if we exit completely from the IMF, there is a guarantee that their monies will be paid? Some of them will threaten. In fact, I know this for a fact. Immediately we had exited completely, they would have brought back, because in the renegotiation, it was hinged on the successful completion of this program and a transition to a PCI program. The idea is to guarantee that credibility to any investor coming to Ghana that Ghana is ready for business. That is the implication of a PCI.
Okay.
And that's any business that you do with Ghana, is a guarantee that you will be paid.
Yeah.
It is a safe environment for investment. Now, investor confidence has also increased, and I've just demonstrated to you what the credit rating agencies are saying. Moro, look at something.
Right.
The number of countries using PCI is here.
Okay.
Now, this is what they are saying. The number of countries using PCI arrangement is relatively small because the instrument is designed for countries with improving macroeconomic conditions that no longer need direct IMF financial assistance.
Okay.
The number of countries enjoying the PCI now are relatively small because it is only few countries in emerging market economies that have stable macroeconomic environment, and Ghana is one of them. We have Rwanda. Currently, Rwanda is doing a PCI program. Senegal is undergoing a PCI program.
I'm told
Seychelles.
Senegal has quit.
They have quit now.
Yes.
Seychelles, Serbia, Benin, and Cape Verde.
Yes.
These are countries with macro outlook which are stable. Now, if you look at their features, like I already said, ECF extended credit. It's money.
Yes.
Loans. Policy credibility. This is the PCI is credibility issues. You are good to go. And I'm sure if 2019, when you had exited, that time, the macroeconomic environment was already good. Because even the same IMF, like you said, they projected that you were on a trajectory of growth. In 2015, the IMF projected growth. You can check it. So if you had exited the program in 2019 and you had signed on to a PCI, that guarantees investor confidence won't have been knocked out by the international market. Currently, Ghana has an opportunity to enter into the capital market and borrow at concessionary rates. So these are some of the things I want my brothers from the minority to understand.
Okay.
Look, it is not everything you must do politics with.
Okay.
This one, no, that's 1 minute more. This one is I'm using my brother as a reference point. This attempt to hop onto everything good in this country for political expedience. The flag bearer himself has run away from these debates. Then you now want to, have you observed Sandra Moro? They have run away from the economy. Now they are all they know, because of their internal elections, everybody is trying to do something to win power.
Right.
So this unrest and this noise and all those, they will never debate you on substance.
Okay.
The substance of the matter is that Ghana is better off now than it was in 2024.
Right.
That's the conclusion.
Mustafa, you have just 6 minutes, unfortunately.
No, he interjected.
Because interjected is more, yes.
I was taking some of my
Oh, actually 5 minutes.
You interrupted me.
Actually 5 minutes.
Okay.
Bonetofa.
Mame Bonetofa.
Yes, long and short.
Yeah, I'm wrong. Adam Kwada Dadri.
That's it.
Adam Kwada Dadri. Look.
Okay.
Really? Is this news? No. What's news about this?
Really?
Yeah, what's news? What's news? What's the news? What's the news value in this? Moro. Essentially, we were supposed to finish, exit the IMF somewhere between May and August this year. So essentially, the credit facility part of the program is done. In fact, you came and benefited from the last batch of the tranches of payment from the IMF. That money you people have taken, you have spent, but that one you will not add it when you are saying that you people created the problems and so on and so forth and so forth. You have signed on to a PCI, essentially telling the IMF that if you leave, we are reckless. We'll run back to our reckless way of doing things. So stay as our big brother, as a police, and keep us in check. That's essentially what it is.
Isn't that what Ghana has always...
That's not the meaning.
Even to pick your own way, which is true, policy credibility.
Yes.
But policy credibility essentially is that you are unable to manage the economy on your own without their support.
That's not the meaning.
It is. Literally.
No, let's not take it.
No.
No, economists watching us will think we are wrong. So let me correct you on that.
Don't correct me.
No, please. No, let's not let misinformation go out.
No. It's not misinformation.
He gave you small space. He says he only wants 10 seconds.
I just want to correct.
Where do Allah?
No.
Oh,
This
cool.
is not correction.
Okay.
This is not correction.
All right.
Please.
So I should allow you to continue like that?
No, it's not correction. It's not correction. It's not at all. It's not.
All right.
It's because if the IMF leaves you, you do things that fall out of credit policy credibility.
Oh, Moro.
It's the same situation we had in 2015, where you yourselves admitted that you are eating the bone, you are eating the meat, and it was down to the bone. So you ran to the IMF looking for policy credibility.
Not emergency funding. This is the
The
difference.
two are different.
Yeah, they are different.
Yes.
So the circumstances are better off.
Because we went into extreme shocks.
Which are?
The post-COVID recovery rigidities that essentially slowed global economy. You know it. Countries went into recession.
In Africa?
I'm lying. Not just here in Africa. But
so which country in Africa? Which country? Mention that country.
If I am going to mention names,
mention one country.
IMF programs that will, Cote d'Ivoire went for the same EFC.
I just asked a question. Which country went for recession? In Africa?
It's not just about Africa. I'm saying
So
economies went into recession. Greece went into recession.
You don't compare economies like that.
You can't tell me which variables I should compare.
That's a
no.
poor benchmark.
No. No, you cannot teach me that.
The MPP won't move away from this.
No, there are global benchmarks for African average.
Yes.
Then the global average.
He knows that.
So which one are you comparing?
When we went to the IMF, at the point you wanted to tell the Ghanaian people that, it was only Ghana that has gone to the IMF. And we told people, though, it's not true. Even our next door neighbors.
Which country went on to recession in Africa?
Cote d'Ivoire. We're also experiencing difficulties.
But better than Ghana.
Nigeria was experiencing difficulties.
Better than Ghana.
Not better than Ghana. Our economies are not the same.
Okay, so you see?
Our economies are not the same. But countries went into recession.
Which country?
That's how tough the whole situation was. We were able to steer our way through, even in the heat of COVID. We did not falter on public sector, wages. Even you people, without these things, even paying public sector is a problem for you. Yet you exit a program, and instead of being magnanimous, you are not magnanimous. Okay. You came to write on the back of the NPP program that we took the shots for and lost election for.
Okay. And that's not why you lost.
Why did we?
Incompetence.
But the same incompetence on that occasion, you running to the IMF in 2015. It's not incompetence. No. Incompetence is when we reduce inflation from 54.
Who took it to 54?
To down
Who took it there?
to 23%.
Who took it there?
When the IMF predicted that by 2025 there will be single-digit inflation, which you have come to enjoy, and now you are saying we should clap hands for you.
My final statement. Do you know in 2022?
No, in 2022. What have you done?
In 2022.
That's what, Moro, I'm telling you, these people.
No way.
In
2022. In 2022,
and when you follow this,
wait. In 2022, IMF performed better. Ukraine performed better than Ghana. Surprisingly,
where the war was happening.
Where the war was happening? The group
economy is a different model economy than the economy.
So what
bright.
was telling you?
Import-led economy.
Let me wish the MCE.
Which country in Africa?
You let me do this. Let me wish Ebi Bright, who is the Municipal Chief Executive of Tema Metropolitan Assembly. Today is your birthday. Happy birthday, Ebi Bright. Well, I'm told she turns 47 today. Yeah, somebody just whispered, a bird whispered in my ears. Ebi Bright, happy. One of these, I think that Bright, we should have her on today. Well, I think she's doing some amazing job at Tema. Yes, Tema Municipal Assembly. Yes, she's the mayor there. Yeah, that's her. Ebi Bright. Okay, that's fine. So Ebi Bright today is yesterday's birthday. We wish you all the best. Actually, one of you have an admirer here, our lead producer, Bright Amini. He admires you so much. He said I should wish you a happy birthday. This one is personally from him. I don't know what kind of relationship they have with you, but he admires her very, very much. And it's, of course, from the entire production team of the Good Morning Ghana show. I want to say happy birthday to you. I'll just take 2 messages. I beg you guys. Jesse Boakon, as a political market expert, greetings to the incoming national organizer of the MPP, Salam Mustafa. He has exhibited beyond reasonable doubt that he's ready for the job. As youth organizer, he did his best. It's just unfortunate he lost the elections. We have learnt our lessons, and with this rich experience, he must continue to lead. This morning, he has made the serious issue simple and not complicated like the way the honorable member is confusing us with misguided data. What is IMF? There's no money in our pockets. Ghanaians are suffering. Jesse Boakon. And then Alhaji Hamza from Fake Farm says that.
Hello everyone, we are the Congolese community in Accra. We invite you